Alright, everyone. I'm Mannix86. I'll be running Mega Man 1 through 5 Game Boy for you guys. I'm super excited about running this. I'm very passionate about these games. I just wanted to do a little intro here before I hand this over to all my commentators. First, it's super cool to end the Game Boy block and start the Mega Man block. I don't think I could be slotted in a better place. So for commentary, we'll have Elpis with us. We'll have Square One, we'll have Tremaine, and later on Mr. Cab and Will WC will join us. So I won't waste any more time here. I'll be muted for the rest of the run, and I'll give the mic to Elpis and Tremaine to start this off.
Yo, Mannix, good luck. Yo, Mannix, good luck.
Good luck, Mannix. Hey, good luck, Mannix. Movement there, double backing, baiting one of those falling enemies, the spinny disc enemies. So they, yeah, he died. Oh, that's rough. Oh, that's rough. But very good movement up until that point. So I'm pretty sure he's gonna.
Yeah, that's a rough death.
Yeah, but it's that's a 50-second time loss. But on a 2+ hour run, that's not too bad.
Yeah, it was almost at the halfway point there.
So it's really nice to have this stage at the start of the game, because this stage is very fierce. Like, very small movement errors can cost you very big amounts of time. So it's really nice to play this stage and be able to reset early on. And there, what I didn't even know you could do in this game, you can jump up ladder transition screens there. So that's what he did there. Instead, and it's faster than grabbing the ladder and climbing up. And that enemy takes way too long to jump, so just take the damage boost there. And dodging these cutters is like, when I played this game as a kid, I could.
Yeah, and it's also not certain if he makes a high jump or a low jump.
Yeah, it just get hit by everything. I think he can take 2 hits, with maybe only 1. I'm not completely sure. I think Mannix told me Cutman can do 3
Yeah, with that
things.
HP only 1 hit.
That's hard. Like, he can do the same action 3 times in a row, and then Cutman has to do something else. And if he jumps, when you walk under him, you have to commit. If you don't commit, you get hit. This is a very, very fierce first stage.
Yeah, and it's also a little bit RNG if he makes a wider jump or a shorter jump.
And he got him.
But other than that, it was a pretty good stage so far.
Yeah, the movement was really good. Now, the next stage is Alec Man, and he has a chance to take a fast game over, so I'm curious to see if he will. Because, like, I don't know if there's a very big chance of dying. Okay, so he's
I
not
think he
going
will
for
commit.
that.
Element stage, there's practically nothing, and he gets the test jump. Very nice. Movement through the Alec beams there is very precise.
These rooms are...
But yeah, if he makes the stage in a normal speedrun manner, then there's like no chance that he will die.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I only watched Manic play this game once. Like, I have beaten it several times, but never speedrun it, so I'm glad you're here to help.
Yeah, don't
We have
worry.
some-
There's a small information I can give you. So yeah, the room with the Susie was also pretty precise, so that was really good movement there. And let's see if he gets the quick block here.
So,
And that looks very
Boomerang.
nice.
oh, nice, yeah, so he fires the boomerang while he's on the ladder, then moves towards the boomerang so he can shoot it again a bit faster. And it's really precise. If you're a little slow,
Yeah, and the quick block basically is when he catches the block before disappearing. And he goes for the slow strat here. There is a way to get this room faster, but it's very RNG heavy if you get a drop or not.
Yeah, he already told me in practice that he wasn't gonna go for the fastest strat because he only got it once in practice, I think.
And yeah.
This is just a lot of forced waiting. I think you can take a damage boost from one of the thunders and skip one,
Yeah,
but I'm not
that's very
completely sure.
precise, as I said. If you get a drop, it's basically over, you cannot get it.
Very solid stage.
And Alec Man is very easy in the Game Boy games, like 3 hits and he's down. Yeah, it was very solid.
Super free.
Yeah, and
Right.
after Elegment stage, you go to
Iceman
Iceman, obviously using the weaknesses. And there are only like 2 strats that could potentially go a little bit wrong here. Other than that, this is a pretty straightforward stage. I think he will not go for the damageless icicle jump. And then let's see what strat he uses for the Sniper Joe at the top of the stage.
If that enemy dropped a weapon energy, that could have been very scary. Because if you get a weapon drop, it basically halts your forward momentum, or like it stops it a lot. And
yeah, drops are very scary here with the cutter strat. So what you can see here is that these icicles you can make a jump before they drop on you if you are only like half with a half of a foot on the same tile set, and then you can make a jump directly to the ladder. And there was the damage boost threat over the spikes, so that he doesn't die. You can do this jump without getting hit. And he takes his time here, not forcing the game over. You can damage boost with the Sniper Joe there without falling into the pit. But if you miss the jump a little bit, then you just slide off into the pit. And with 0 lives, that would be a game over, wasting even more time.
yeah, that's too big a risk. And here he moves to the right to have the thunder beams go off screen faster, so he kills the boss a little earlier than if he had done it from all the way over to the left. And I think taking damage in this game is dependent on where you are on the hitbox of the enemy and not the direction you're facing, unlike some other Mega Man games.
Yes. That life drop.
Wow. Wow, generous.
Sweet.
Like when I was younger, I always thought you just had to wait a lot
really
in
nice.
this game, but like when I saw Mannix play it, it's really like the speed strats for this game are really cool. Like, and it's all movement. There are no slides through things or whatever. You just have to space out your movement really well. And so far, Mannix's movement has been looking very cool. There, he uses specific markings
So what
on
you
the
see here
ground.
is you can
to
kill the
time
Champion
his
Makers with
underway.
1 Alec beam.
Yeah, and he times it like with certain visual cues on the ground.
And you have 2 sections of that.
Yeah, and the second one's a little harder. I think the last enemy of the last section can't be done in one shot. I think that's what he told me. So let's see if he gets this one.
It can be done. All of them can be done in one.
Okay, all of them can be done.
But he's going for a little bit of safe strats here.
Oh, that was a nice setup, killing those 2 screwdrivers.
But yeah, all of them can, as I said, be done in one.
Yeah, this is a hard stage.
And it's even longer than the other ones. Like
So that first shot, he shoots as
on
the
the
screen
big hill,
starts to
refill,
scroll.
very nice.
So that's one of the easier. Oh, when he gets the last one in one hit, nice. I think he showed me that
Let's
if
see
you
on the
get
fireman
really close
fight.
to this boss, he just keeps moving
Firefighter.
forever. And
Yeah,
just-
that was pretty sick fight. Yeah,
wow.
very nice.
That was a good fight.
Yeah. Did you see the time? Was it like 9:40 or something?
I think so. Okay, and here goes something really cool. Mannix
With
showed
one
me
death, that's
is that
pretty okay. I think best time is 8:20 or something like that.
if you don't press any buttons here, this cutscene takes a lot longer. So Mega Man teleports out much faster if you tap some buttons or press A. I'm not completely sure what button you need to press, but you can skip part of that. I didn't know that. That was so cool. I think that's
Just
the
A.
only instance in a Mega Man game where you can actually
Yeah, the save is like 3 seconds.
Yes, and I think the one for the second Wily Fortress is even more, like 12 or something. And here we can see the carry weapon,
you
which is
save
basically the only
like over
support
12
weapon
seconds
for this
because
game.
you skipped the second screen.
Okay. And it basically forms a platform right underneath Mega Man's feet.
His health is pretty low.
Yeah, this is pretty dangerous. I think some players use cut here, but he says he switched back to Buster because it's more easy to do consistently. Yeah, that's a solid decision right there. Excellent use.
Yeah,
of
it's
carry
also
as well.
safer because if you get a drop with the cutter, you will just drop down.
Oh, okay, no worries. It's really nice that carry spawns right underneath Mega Man's feet. Otherwise, that might have been.
Let's see
really
what
terrible.
movement he does in the mold section here. There's a fast way, and he'll go for it. That was almost the perfect pattern for it. Like,
Wow.
what normally should happen is that one mole spawns in the long section, in the long air section, because they take longer to drill through the air. Then you kill the 3 close ones. And then you can just run until basically almost the end and only have to damage boost once more. And that's what he did. It was pretty good. He goes for the safe strat here, going Flashman first, because it's the easier fight getting the refill. Weakness is also ice, he has that. And he will go to Quickman now, and then probably go over to Bubbleman and then Heatman.
Yeah, because that's just a weakness order. Oh, got stuck on the platform there.
Yes.
And here he's gonna use the orbs from the fire weapon because everything does 1 damage to him, I think. And that way he can hit him much more fast than with just the orb.
Yeah.
Come on. Nice kill.
Yeah, using fire is easier for an RTA player because you just have to stand close to Quickman compared to using the Buster weapon. And that's why he does it.
Yeah, you can also still get hits in while
weapon
you're being hit.
Quickman is weak to heat, but that fight isn't that much faster. It does like 2 damage or so.
Yeah, and you can get hits in while you're being hit.
Let's see what
with
pattern
Fireman weapon.
Bubbleman gives him. And he gives him the perfect pattern actually, like going over directly without a bubble and then dropping 2. It's like the perfect pattern, test-wise at least. And he got a really good fight there. That was pretty fast. So Heatman is basically the same as in the NES version. He gives you either a 30, a 60 or the 90 framer, and he can throw the fire either short or wide. And
Yeah, but the difference here is that you can actually get in
fun
double
fact
hits.
is, if you kill him in a specific way, then the tune for defeating him will not play for at least like 1 or 2 seconds. So that could delay your getting out of this room by even like 1 or 2 seconds. And here we got the Mega Man killer, Anchor. His weapon is the only weapon that can be used in the second Wily phase at the end. And basically you can always hit him when he either spikes his sword to the sky or when he's jumping. So the perfect pattern would be double jumps. Hitting him then 3 times while he's jumping and then get the shots in. And he had the really good fight with Anchor. So I think there were like 4 jumps. Yeah, this is the Wily stage. He skipped the second screen by mashing A and B. Normally you would see Wily going up into the space. And Albus has some problem with his mic currently. I think. I don't hear you.
Can you hear me? Hello? Okay, Square can hear me, but...
Yeah, now I can hear you. I don't know what it
Oh,
was.
okay.
Hello.
Okay, I'm not sure if... Okay, yeah, that's because like I was saying something and then you talked through me, so I was like, what's going on? But you didn't hear me, so I'm sorry about that. It's just okay. So this Yoku section is actually pretty.
Yeah, I'm sorry for that, man. I just didn't hear you, my end. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I know you. I know. Like I'm just happy that like I thought. Yeah, I'm just happy that you weren't being rude. You just didn't hear me. Um. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Go on. This is a pretty rough final stage. I'd say this is one of the...
Yeah, not much here. Like, he uses the carry at the end of the Yoku section.
Okay, so there are still some mic problems for me.
I hear you. Like, I don't know, maybe.
Okay, you can hear me. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, this is definitely one of the harder final stages. Yeah, I don't know. Like as a kid, this took me so much time to beat. There's a lot of different, like you have to use all the weapons. There's a lot of different techniques being used here. Like I remember using Time Stopper here, and there's even some use for Atomic Fire, like on the next screen, or like he's using Carry there, but here these blocks to the right. You can actually melt those with fire weapon. And I'm already seeing some heresy in the chat. There is no need for a pitch correction for Mega Man 2
Yes,
Game
he
Boy.
also saw that he used the carry to...
It's already perfect the way it is.
get faster on the ladder section. So, yeah. Yeah, Mega Man 2. So it's going for the final fall here. And then we have Wily. The first section basically is just throwing the rolling cutters here, and the heat weapon destroys him completely here. And on the second phase he will use Anchor.
Yeah, this final phase is just really easy. You just have to wait for the cannon to move up and down and reflect the shots back at Wily and dodge the claw. It's really not much of a challenge.
Yeah, and there's a specific movement he's trying to get so that he can finish off the last shot a little bit quicker and not getting hit by the claw.
Oh, very nice. GG, Mannix.
And that's Mega Man 1 Game Boy. GG.
Alright, and now for the objectively best Mega Man Game Boy game, Mega Man 2. It's some of the most experimental Game Boy music in the history of the Game Boy.
With the best soundtracks.
Yeah. Okay, and he's going for a damage boost on the spring enemy, which is somewhat uncommon because you need a lot of health for the crushers that are coming up. And is he playing? Oh, he is playing the European version, which has two small advantages. Look at the damage from those crushers. It's like, oh, okay, yeah. Like he's gonna, yeah, okay, that's a smart one. Taking damage from a mole only does 2, whereas the crushers do like 6 or 5. And there are two distinct advantages to playing the European version. One was that the air goblins, the platforms in Airman stage, the horns move up slower. And another is that a tile is missing in Top Man stage, meaning you can slide under some enemy instead of having to slide through it. And yeah, and, so far it's looking very, very good. Like he has 4 health. I think he'd want at least 1 more health, so he can do the glitch on Melman, get him stuck in the wall. And there's a health drop, so that's very nice. Now he's in the safe zone. So even if he gets bodied by Metal Man, which does 4 damage, like he won't die. Like ideally you would get hit by the Metal Blade, but it's a little more specific to setup. So what will happen is that he will bait Metal Man to jump into the right wall. But, okay, he didn't get the perfect setup, but it's still good. So he's not programmed well enough to actually move to the right, so he just gets stuck in the wall and he becomes this completely free fight. Very nice, very solid. Like ideally you would get him on the left side because he would be at floor level, so you don't have to jump. But if you
very easy stage then.
Yeah, if you jump and time your shots well enough, you're only losing a couple of frames here and there, so it's not a big deal at all. This is a very scary stage in the sense that like if you take a little too much damage and with the crushers, like stuff can go wrong pretty easily. Footman's a fairly easy stage.
Do you think he will take top route?
No. I already got some.
Do you think he will take the top route?
You asked me. I was
Rush Marine.
No, I think I've already got it confirmed that it's gonna be 1-800 Rush Marine. Oh, he didn't get hit twice by the dog, so that was nice. Yeah, he's going for that Rush Marine. This strat loses 3 seconds. So, but it's much safer. I used to do this for the longest time as well. Just an easy, comfy strat. And Metal Blade is even more potent than it is on the NES.
Yeah, nothing wrong with it.
Just cuts through these roosters or kooks. Another really cool thing about this game is that Mega Man has super armor when he's sliding or climbing a ladder. So when you're sliding, and you get hit, your hit animation will kind of be stuck inside the slide. So once you come out of the slide and you're still being hit, or your hit animation would still be playing, you still get a little bit of the animation. That was a very good kill, by the way. It's really weird. This game wasn't actually programmed by Capcom or made by Capcom. It was outsourced. I don't remember the name of the company, but I do remember that this is the only game they outsourced. And I think that's part of the reason why this game is very different from all the other Mega Man games. Airman stage is a little dangerous. If you go for ideal strats, you need 1 random weapon drop to go the fastest. And here you can see the slides into the spike and then trying to get a reverse D-boost at the end. Overall, this game isn't terribly hard. I'd say this is one of the easiest Mega Man games around.
I think it's the easiest, yeah.
Yeah, it's either this or Mega Man X4. These are the two, in my opinion. Oh, and a Mega Man 5 reference right there.
Let's see if he gets the drop there, which he needs. Yeah, didn't get
he's gonna switch.
Hey. Okay.
Okay, well there is a backup strat without, I guess. Or
he's taking the extra right there. I think he forgot.
Yeah. Like, I wonder how he's gonna do Airman now. Like, if he's gonna slide into him from the start, then use shield and then shoot it, because using Leaf Shield while not moving doesn't deplete weapon energy. It's when you move that you activate its secondary ability, which is shooting it in a certain direction. or pressing the D-pad forces it to go in a certain direction. So let's see if he does that. And he does not. Okay, so he's going for the classic Buster back up. I think this loses 1.5, maybe 2 seconds over.
Yeah, should be
into.
2. And
So
also
it's
like the weapon menu.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah,
not
so-
that big of a time loss though.
Yeah, 1 or 2 seconds on a 2-hour plus run's not a deal at all. And another cool thing, Rush Jet in this game works kind of the same as in Mega Man 3. So if you stand on Rush, it'll deplete energy, but you can jump to...
Reduce it.
Yeah, and there's also a unique trick. We discovered it during the Mega Man 2 Game Boy tournament. It's called Bad Dog, and it's basically if you land on Rush the frame it spawns, it will just slide off. And it's only useful in one spot, which is in this stage. But it's generally something you don't want. But if you're trying to go too fast and you end up being on Rush on the very first frame, you just slide off. And it's just awful. This is like there are a couple of energy tanks to get, and the fastest ones are in this stage. Ideally, you only need 1 energy tank, but 2 energy tanks is very common for this game.
And it's very safe, yeah.
Yeah. I think Andy uses 1 energy tank. I'm pretty sure he does. I don't. I think I use 2. And there's a second energy tank, which is also a very handy pickup. And now we actually get to one of the toughest fights in the game, Clashman with Parachuter. You will shoot the boss once with the Buster in Rush Jet form because otherwise the damage won't stack out, because the damage numbers and calculations are kind of weird in this game, or the total number of hits versus the damage from the weapons. So there he pinged a shot off the Clash Bomb to be able to shoot the air shooter earlier. And you can also shoot... Oh, very nice. Very nice.
That was a good fight, yeah.
You can also fire it left. The point being that, much like Mega Man 1 on the Game Boy, if the weapon is off-screen, you get to fire the weapon again. I think that's a trend in a lot of NES and Game Boy Mega Man games, which probably has something to do with the on-screen limit of sprites. Here we get to see Dr. Wily's Turtle Castle. At least I think it's a turtle, it might be a mole.
Maybe a mole, yeah. And also a little debated.
Yeah. Here we get to the only sin this game has. Dr. Wily doesn't wiggle his eyebrows. So
He
sad.
just debates Mega Man into falling down.
Now for the best team in the game.
Ooh. That death.
Yeah. These jumps can be deceptive because the Mega Man's hitbox is bigger than it looks, so you can walk a little further off the edge of the platform than you think you can, but yeah. Like,
Yeah,
I died there
those
too.
jumps are not that easy. A little bit wide.
Metal Blade retains its status as one of the best weapons ever in this game as well. Just cuts through pretty much everything.
Ooh, gets a health refill there. Pretty nice.
Some nice power armor slide de-boosting over here. Oh, missing just the one hit, the one shot.
That was a good recovery though.
And another health block, so that's nice. Here we have some of the most unique Yoku blocks in the Mega Man series. You can jump through these blocks, and they're only half the size of regular Yoku blocks. And Yoku blocks being the disappearing blocks you see here and there. But because he's jumping on Rush, like he's conserving the energy, like I said before, and it's easier to do because you don't have to wait on the Yoku block.
Yeah, he
Yes.
also conserved
Let me
energy
go.
by jumping there.
Let's see. Let's see if we can get the magnet quicker. I kind of
Yeah. I think he gets the quick kill. He got it, I think. Almost the perfect. Almost. It was very solid, yeah.
Kill. That's not the fastest possible, but it's very close.
Yeah.
I think you can kill him like on ground level or a little above ground, but it's...
You can amazing. Kill him mid-ride. Mid-air ride.
Mid-rise. So then it's only half a jump away from perfect fight, so very nicely done, Mannix. It was actually one of the most fun quick kills to do in the game. Or just in general, just a really fun quick kill to practice. I used to think Magnet Man was the hardest boss in this game when I played this as a kid. Just couldn't beat him.
What about Needleman then?
Oh, well, I knew about Topspin, I guess. But even with Metal Blade, it doesn't do that much damage. I don't know, I really needed the energy tanks back then. The good old days.
So we're in Hardman stage here, getting pretty close to the Zips. The only Mega Man game with Zips, actually. And this stage is also pretty straightforward. There's a strat where you can use the magnet missile to don't have to switch back and forth, but using the rush coil is pretty common, and yeah, he got a pretty good stage there. Didn't miss any crucial parts.
Calculated it to be like using magnet strats only 0.7 seconds faster than using rush coil strats, but it does make the Hardman fight a little riskier, because if you think only one magnet, you're screwed, because you need like if you kill the monkey, you need all your magnets remaining to kill the boss. Whereas now it doesn't matter if he thinks one like that. Still, bosses go down really easy, and another cool thing about this game, and I think it might apply for other Mega Man games as well, is that the body damage of bosses is pretty big, but the projectile damage is pretty low. So getting hit there by the knuckles is not a big deal. Most projectiles do 1, some do 2, but it's like compared to 4 or 6 or whatever. It's generally favorable to just get hit by
Clash is basically the only enemy that deals 3 with his missile. Like, if you get hit by that, it's like 3, and body hit is 4. So that's a brutal fight. So yeah, Elpis, tell us about some screen wraps here.
Oh, yeah, the best part. So if you do a free fall screen transition, or like if you do a screen transition and you fire a hard knuckle at the same frame, you, let's see if he gets it. Ooh, just a little too late. You zip down one screen, and it allows for some really quirky things, but it's also really useful to skip some parts. Oh, this is, by the way, the one tile slide where European version matter. Here, this is a screen zip, so he's actually on his, one screen below, and he just skipped 2 screens like that.
Yeah,
looks very amazing, and because it's a little easier to do on ladders, because you can position yourself perfectly and just press A and B at the same time. It's much more free than the free fall ones, which are just frame perfect and you have to do on feeling.
And he also gets the refill. Nice.
Oh, nice hard knuckle drop. The hard knuckle drops are actually a really big deal, or weapon energy drops for hard knuckle are a really big deal, because it allows you to kill Quint and use the maximum number of zips. It was really cool to see Mannix use Leaf Shield here. Ooh, didn't get the 1 cycle on top, man. Because it's faster, a little bit faster to use Metal Blade on those top spinning guys. But Leaf Shield is a very comfortable alternative to use there. So we see the upward zip in Needle. We can only hope. Like it's much harder. I don't think Mannix will go for it. But I don't remember if he did in practice.
I don't know.
But Needleman is a really cool stage. So let's see what...
like if he doesn't do the upward zip, he will do the downward zip at the end, because he will take the refill.
Yeah, my zip. Like,
yeah,
the one thing I was able to contribute to this game, like that was better than getting a sub 19. Was just finding a strat that other people can have use of. And like he didn't go for the upward zip, which is understandable. Like it's aside from the frame perfect ones, it's a little hard to set up. Timing is very specific.
Yeah.
There's also some stuff that can go wrong. if you zip in the wrong spots. So you can either start at the beginning of the stage again, or you can just hard or soft lock. So that's...
Let's see what needle pattern he does get here. Oh, he gets the perfect one. Oh, sweet.
Yeah, so like I think you came up with the zips. Like if you do a zip and then you jump really small, you can get a free zip through the floor.
Yeah, that's the one framer. You just tap basically the jump button and that just drops you through the floor.
Yeah, and that basically saves one weapon energy for hard if you do it in top, man. So that's why, like, 8boy and I were studying it. We're studying your video of that, and like we just called it the Tremaine zip because you were the only one who was doing it. I think that was really cool. I actually used it a lot in the tournament. I got it, I think, 3 races in a row. Like, it's such a cool trick. Like, it's basically a free hard knuckle zip without hard knuckle. Very nice top man fight, or very nice needle man fight there.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Top spin doing some excellent damage. I really like this picture, by the way. It's really nice. Mega Man with his dog. Okay, now for Mega Man from the future, because this game actually has a plot. So his hitbox is already there, which is why you can see. Oh, and that was a very nice kill. And now he gets the pogo stick. Quint item Sakugarn. Friggin' Quint. And now we get to see another one of Dr. Wily's coolest fortresses ever. Like,
He likes to have
probably,
someone in the sky.
Yeah, this is probably my favorite Wily fortress.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool stage with the hard knuckle zips. Like doing it normally, having the ladder section going up and down is pretty tiring, and
it's the kind of way they had to make games longer back in the day, you know, just go up and down, zigzag around screens, so they're oh wow, okay, let's see. Oh no, okay, another chance. Oh, a little too early.
Yeah,
there's still gonna be another free ladder zip here. And there's actually a triple zip you can do here with 2 hard knuckles. No, 3 hard knuckles in a row.
Ow, he gets
what?
Nice. He gets the frame perfect
Nice.
one directly through the ladder. So he didn't have to take the backup one. That's pretty nice.
That's
Very nice, man.
amazing.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. 1 frame.
The clocks in the background being from the Salvador Dali art. I think is really cool. You know, again working with the time traveling motif. That's also why there are other clocks in the stage. But yeah, there's also another cool zip you could do where Mannix did the frame perfect one at the end, where you do a hard knuckle zip from the ladder, then another frame perfect one, then a Tremaine zip, and then another frame perfect one, and then you skip that entire second. But I've only gotten it twice in once. It's very
Gets a big refill for the rush jet here, so he has no problem with the Wily fight, because Wily fight first phase consumes a lot of rush jet energy if you don't do the jumping.
I think you still got plenty of energy tanks, so this game is as good as...
Yeah, that is down.
Okay, so there's actually a sub-pixel where if you walk under Wily, like he can just hit you, and that happened in the finals against Andy twice in a row, where I died 2 times in the exact same way. But like his health isn't low enough for it to matter, and that was already the first phase.
A perfect first phase. He missed no shot. That was
Nice.
perfect.
Now we're gonna see Sakugarn in action. Basically, there's one thing though. If Wily is too far to the right and he kills him, the game can soft lock, and yeah, that okay. But it doesn't. So.
And the cool feature with the Sakugan is, if it runs out of energy, it directly switches to Buster.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have to go to the menu for that. And now it's just like killing it.
Yeah, and he's going to get those double hits in there. And this is also one of the few Dr. Wily battles that is a 3-phase fight, which I think is really cool. Plus, it's a T-Rex. That's not too loud. And that is it.
Perfect.
GG, Mannix. All right.
Solid hits.
Well, hope you guys have some more fun. I'm gonna head out because I don't know enough about the next few games to do commentary.
Thanks for managing me, too. Elpis.
Yeah, was a lot of fun. So good luck.
Where are you ready?
Hey, how's it going? I'm here for Mega Man 3. The best
Yeah.
one.
The best game. The easiest one. So yeah, just do your thing. I'm just gonna pop in some comments if I have something.
Alright. So he's starting with Shadow Man. It's a lot like the NES Shadow Man. Really good music too.
Yeah, the music is pretty close to the NES version in Mega Man 3.
And he's doing a lot of shooting lemons and then sliding. Killing enemies as soon as they come on the screen. These stages are just child's play though for the later ones. Ooh, little nice save there.
Yeah, this is the hardest of the Mega Man Game Boy games, right?
In my opinion, it is. Because the later stages are like really hard compared to the first four, and compared to other stages in the series, I think like Dust Skull and Diveman stage are pretty rough. I mean, Diveman has a 2-frame jump where if you overjump it, you are instantly dead with all those
Is that
death
the one
spikes.
with the spikes and the rising water?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I remember doing
That's
that
like
as
a
kid. It was
2-framer.
terrible.
And Dustman has a lot of 3-tiled jumps, which are very hard to get. Yeah, and Skull overall is also very long stages. So yeah, the difficulty curve, as I describe it always, is like very easy in the first stages with Shadow, Spark, and Snake. Then it gets a little bit harder with Gemini. And then you have like Drill, which is also pretty okayish. And then you have like Dust, Skull, and Dive, which are, in my opinion, pretty hard with the setup they choose for the stages.
Yep. The hard thing here about Spark is the fastest way through is to just damage boost through a lot, and you don't have a lot of health, so...
Yeah, you also notice that this game is very laggy. Like everything that spawns or is on screen just tends to lag Mega Man. It's really rough. And one thing we didn't say in Shadow Man stage is that if you kill a boss, you try to kill him as far in the middle as possible, because if the bubbles after the boss fight leave the screen, the earlier they are gone, the earlier Mega Man gets sent out to the get weapon screen. But as you can see, these rising platforms here, they just lag the game. It's just
so laggy.
slowing down. It's so painful.
More damage boosts.
So what Mannix tries to do here in the spike room is there's a setup so that you can just fall left-sided along the spikes and he gets it. And that saves a bunch of seconds, because otherwise you have to trigger the bombs, have to wait the 3 count, and then you can just continue. But falling all left-sided, it just falls through the screens and that's it. And yeah, the rest of the stage is just killing some enemies, doing some damage boosts here and there, and then tries to finish off Sparkman as fast as possible. Shouldn't be a problem with that health.
Yep, luckily he got a health drop.
Ooh. That's a random pattern. I never seen that. Like, normally it goes to the left corner and then goes back to the middle. But it was a pretty nice kill. And yeah, the projectile does less damage than the enemy itself.
Now, Snake Man. Still one of the easier stages, but it can be a little scary.
Yeah, the end part is pretty rough with the jumping. If you get some unnecessary drops or something that you stop in mid-air, which is, in my opinion, a bad gimmick of this game.
Yeah.
Like, you get all of your momentum killed. And that could be a dump game over, but let's not hope for that. Maybe he also goes back to Buster to avoid it. But other than that, the stage is pretty forward. Having these big snake enemies going down with 4 Shadow Blades. And most of the other enemies just die in 1 Shadow Blade. And also we got Eddie.
Yep. I think this is the first Mega Man one to have Eddie in it.
Yeah, it's the first appearance.
And the first one to have charge shots.
Yeah, we didn't talk about the charge shot. Basically the second, or like the half charge shot is a wider lemon, which is also faster than like a non-charged shot. And it can be used in particular ways to hit enemies a little bit earlier, or just use the widening shot to hit an enemy barely. So he goes for the Buster strat here to avoid those unnecessary drops. And as you can see, these...
So scary.
Close. So yeah,
He makes it.
These screens are pretty rough. But he makes it. I almost got the jump. It was a pretty good fight. If he gets the jump, like when Snake Man goes to the left, that would be really nice. But other than that, really good fight.
And next is Gemini Man. The first kind of hard stage, I think.
Yeah. Definitely one stage which is a little bit harder. In the beginning you have those penguins, as you know from the NES version. They go down with 4 damage, like 1 full charge and 1 lemon. And by doing specific slides you despawn all of these flying guys. Let's see if he goes for it here in this section. I didn't get the first one. Because normally if you get the despawn from the first flying guy, then you try to make a slide on the 1 tile set platforms to despawn the other ones as well. Didn't get that, unfortunately. So it goes for a safe strat here. Basically what you can do is you can go forward with a full charge shot and slide underneath all of these eggs. But it is very precise and sometimes you miss out the last one because the shot just barely didn't reach it. So by killing 2 of these eggs, it's just making it safer. And upcoming we have a cool trick if he gets it. You can shoot these penguin statues, and if you slide through them while they get hit, they don't damage you, so you can just slide through them without receiving damage, because if you get hit by them they deal 8 damage. So the safe strat would be to get some big refill, which is pretty good. So yeah, if you get hit by those small penguins it's like 2 damage or something like that, but getting hit by the statue is like 8, and there are 2 of them, so you try to at least avoid that if you don't get the slide through it with the Shadow Blade.
Here he's gonna jump into the projectile again because it's way less damage than jumping into the boss. And a really fast kill.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Almost at the center as well.
And now there's sort of a in-between stage. With some Yoku blocks.
Yeah, small introduction into the Wily station, basically. Really, really short stage. Or segment. And in the end, you have to fight a big Susie. So you can potentially make this jump, like the middle one, and get onto the Yoku block, but it's very tight, and yeah, you don't want to risk it in a marathon run. And yeah, the big Susie fight is also pretty easy. Going with a full charge, and then just use the spark weapon to finish him off. And off we go to the next set of 4 robots. The real hard stages begin now.
Yep, this stage is a nightmare. This stage probably gave me the most trouble trying to learn this game.
Yeah, the Dustman stage is just such a hard stage. The soundtrack is very cool, but the stage is just so hard. You have lots of these 3 tiles of jumps, as you can see here in the beginning. The stage is very long, and you have on top of that also the crusher section, which can, yeah, easily destroy you. So he takes the safe route here, not going for the slide jumps, but instead going top of the ladder. And also he skips this big guy with the damage boost because it takes a ton of time to kill him, as you can see here with the Shadow Blades, like 7 Shadow Blades just to kill that one enemy. But so far he's doing really, really good. Stage is not easy.
Yeah, a lot of these jumps are way more precise than they look. They're just almost impossible feeling, especially when you're trying to go fast.
Yeah. Yeah, we're in this crusher section right now. It's pretty hard because going a little bit too far, getting crushed, it just resets you there. All of these blocks need a bullet, like lemon, to kill if you don't have a full charge. Gets through very, very fast. That was a pretty good crusher section. And in my opinion, upcoming are like 4 of the hardest jumps. Those 2 tiles that jumps with the ceiling, they are just rough. First 2 are very nicely cleared.
I don't know what they were thinking making these rooms.
Yeah, and the fun fact is, oh, nice clear there. We got all 4 of them. Like the funniest room is coming up with the 5 spikes on the floor. This room is I don't know, it's just bad programming in my eye. Like,
yeah, it looks like it's designed for Rush Jet, but you can't get Rush Jet here yet.
Yeah, you get Rush Jet after Dustman, and you have to place your Rush Coil pretty far into the spikes so that you get over. And yeah, placing it short, you just jump into this. And after all of your hardship, you just fall down like 5 screens. Just to make it even more length.
But pretty good stage.
Yeah, pretty good stage.
It's very scary. And then the Dustman fight's probably the most frustrating RNG spot in the run.
Yeah.
If he just sucks like that, just free time loss.
Yeah, double suck already. Rough. Bad RNG on that part, but there's nothing you can do about it. It's just...
Yeah.
Oh, and the third one. And the fourth one. Yeah, this fight is just rough. Best pattern for you would be if he just stands there and just blows. But other than the bad RNG he got, that was a pretty good kill. Only missed like 1 charge shot. Yeah. As Mannix said, dust sucks. And off we go to the, technically stage, Skullman. I don't know if he goes for some rush coil stuff, but lots of enemies he has to kill here, lots of repeating room layouts, like going up, going left, killing one of these Skullmans, and then going right again.
Yeah, these bats can be annoying. Sometimes they'll just not open, and the fastest way is to just damage boost through them. Ooh.
That's jump. Well, it wasn't a bad game over though. Like, not game over, but a death. Could have been way more time consuming. But what you could do is you could slide underneath these bats and make like a perfect jump to avoid them. But like, that's very precise, and if you fall into that pit between those tile sets, then you cannot get out. It's basically death, because you cannot place rush shed or rush coil there, because it's only 2 tile sets wide. It's so frustrating. So the best way is just damage boost, jumping into the bat, and then going along with it. Gets the jump underneath the bat, that was very nice.
Nice.
Nice jump over the worm there. And also nice rush chat setup. Let's see if he gets the jump. I didn't get the jump. So if you have a little bit of luck and have a better position, I guess, then you could make that rush chat jump onto the ladder, so you don't have to jump from the bottom. And there shouldn't be any more difficulties, except maybe this last section here where you have to kill these Skullmans. Yeah, if you get a drop, that's basically a time loss a little bit, because you have to just slow down there. So yeah, he takes his time here because he doesn't want to fall down, because the reset on that one would be pretty huge.
Yep, they'll have to put the scary screens right at the end of the stage, really far from the checkpoints.
Yes. Could have gone a little bit better, but it wasn't that bad of a fight. Yeah, he also said it, whoops. Yeah, I missed that one.
Another super impossible stage to go fast in. Here comes Dive Man. They just decided to put spikes everywhere in every room, and a few jumps that I don't know why they would expect anyone to ever have to do.
Yeah, this stage, I don't know what they thought about it. I mean, the water physics are not that bad. But there are death spikes everywhere, as you can see in this room already. It just starts with their spikes. So yeah, those mini bosses, they just die with Shadow Blade easily. No big hassle there, but yeah, now starts the underwater hell. Like, death spikes everywhere. I don't know. It's just terrible layout in my opinion. So, and here comes the like 2-framer. If he gets first try, very nice. So there, this jump is 2 frames. If you jump lower than that, you don't make it up to the platform. If you jump more than those 2 frames, then you basically jump into your death, because there are spikes on top and you cannot avoid it. So basically, you can die there easily 2, 3, 4 times if you just overpress it a little bit.
Yeah, that was incredibly fast to get through that in one try.
First try was very nice. Struggles a little bit with the whale here, but yeah.
More spikes everywhere.
Yeah, spikes. And it's not getting better, it's even getting worse. Like, upcoming is the up-down water section. Gets a life from Eddie, which is pretty good. So you can make this jump underneath the spike ceiling, but it's pretty precise. And yeah, I don't know, this layout. I think he will go for the rush chat here. Yeah, he waits on that. He just rush chats it. Because, yeah, look at that. It's just spikes. Spikes. Everywhere. Very harsh. Ooh, that was close. He lives dangerously, really. Yeah, this is the safe strat for the last part here of the up-down section, just using rush chat on the top. Very easy. Reserving some health, and also don't have to deal with the death spikes. Fun fact is, those mantis, they deal 8 damage to you. Body contact. Very hard stage. Like, you have 19 HP, and 8 damage is one hit of them. So Diveman goes down pretty easily with a skull shield. He gets a very nice kill there in the center. That was very nice. The fight itself was a little bit slow, but I wouldn't worry about that in a marathon. That was a pretty solid kill in the middle.
Yep, really solid dive overall.
Oh, he was on 2 HP, so yeah, that was pretty sick then. Very nice. Good job, Mannix.
And then Drillman's probably the easiest of the second 4 stages. Sort of the calm before the big wily fight.
Yeah, and also has the 2 debating E-tanks in it. Yeah, those E-tanks. I don't know. So yeah, this stage is pretty forward. Like, there's... Ooh. I call lag on that jump.
Yeah, that screen is super laggy with all the guy throwing the ball thing and stuff.
Like, Mega Man 3 Game Boy in particular is really laggy. So I could swear that he pressed jump there, but it just got eaten, or like he pressed it on a lag frame. So he will take his time here on those. But yeah, upcoming are these like falling platforms that go to each side and let Mega Man fall through them. These are so rough. Like on the NES, you can easily stand on them. Here he takes an damage boost on purpose so he doesn't get dropped onto the spikes. And Eddie gives another life. Very nice.
And
so yeah,
the
these platforms, he gets them. But yeah, you cannot trust them. These platforms, I don't know. Very rough. So upcoming we see a little shortcut with using the rush chat going underneath the platform. Which is pretty cool if you get it. Yes, there it is. You can just use rush chat to go underneath that. You don't have to go to the Sniper Joe there or to the Hammer Joe. And yeah, the rest of the stage is pretty straightforward. Killing the big guy and going into Drillman.
Yep, Drillman's a little bit nicer than the NES one because you can shoot him as he's going into the ground and coming out of it.
Yeah.
But still, see a lot of dives like that.
Ooh, that double dive. What an asshole. Nice. Almost standard kill. Very good. Double dive is unfortunate, but it's RNG.
Yep.
Nothing you can do there. Very solid.
Now the one Wily stage.
Another short segment with Wily. This time Mega Man is not getting debated by Dr. Wily, but instead he gets a little bit challenged by Punk, the Mega Man killer. And yeah, he has no weakness except the Buster, so Mannix tries to get as much as possible these full charge shots in. And what makes this fight a little bit hard is the disc that Punk is throwing deflects Buster shots, so he has to be a little bit careful to not miss his shots. But other than that, the pattern of Punk is like very easy to check. He either goes low or high, and he gets the right side kill, which is pretty good.
Nice.
That's pretty good. Even though he missed like one shot, that was pretty good. Really nice fight there.
And then right into the final stage.
Yeah, I like the soundtrack of the final stage. Like, all of them have so unique music, except Mega Man 2 maybe. But the soundtracks are very good. So this stage basically has a lot of different enemies from all the stages you've seen so far. It has the Susie, the big Susie mid-boss again. And you see a lot of weapon usage. Like every weapon basically is being used here. You have Rush Jet, you have the Dust Crusher, you have the drill weapon. I think he uses drill weapon at least. But most of the weapons you're gonna see here.
And of course, spikes everywhere.
Yeah. What he tried to do there was summoning Rush Jet so that he could jump onto this ladder instead of climbing it up. Didn't get it quite, but was still pretty fast. Also the long ladder section again. He could speed it up by using Rush Jet or Rush Coil, but he would need to hit these shield guys with a skull shield, and if he doesn't get it, he falls down 2 screens, so that's that's not so easy to do.
Yep, and they've got to make enemies come out of every single pit.
Yeah, lots of enemies appearing, and because it just has to be there, we have a crusher section coming up with spikes.
Yeah, this screen is really scary to go fast in.
This is a really rough screen. Like the first spike jump is very hard, and yeah, it's not easy to do. It's not as easy as it looked there.
Yeah, you made it look really easy, but that is not easy.
Yeah, definitely not easy one. Yeah, and upcoming is the giant Susie fight. It's basically the same as you've seen in the midsection after the first 4 robots. And also a lot of repetitions with the room layouts. Missed some shots here. Going for the safety energy tank. Was a nice kill though.
Yep.
So yeah, this stage is pretty long.
Yeah, and there's just no breaks. They just keep coming, keep throwing everything at you.
Yeah, they just keep coming, that's right. Nice one. I didn't get this the double hit here. You can double hit these Metals. Didn't get it though. It's really precise. He also uses the second E-Tang there, going into the Wily fight.
Just to be safe while he's menuing anyway, I guess.
Yeah, has to go back to Buster. So Wily is two-faced again. The first phase is this jumping machine, which goes left and right. You wanna kill it on the left side, because of bad programming, the wall throwing mechanism that is after like killing it the first time is a little bit bugged out, so you wait here so that it comes back to the left side, because it's very easy to kill it on the left side. He just stays in a specific spot. As you can see, he is checking the ground for the spot, and he can just throw the Screw Crusher onto Wily, and he will basically never get disturbed by the balls that are falling down. So yeah, this is Mega Man 3 Game Boy.
Nice.
Very nice kill.
That was a good run. Really solid.
Very nice one. Yeah.
Good job, Mannix.
Yo.
Alright, now I'll hand it off.
Yo, thank you, Square.
Yep, thank you.
All right, I'm going to jump in and join Tremaine. And I'm Will WC. I used to speedrun this game back in the, dear God, early 2010s. And
yeah, the early days. The early days. It's great to have you here, man.
Back when I wanted to get this game on Speed Demo's archive because it was the only speedrunning site I knew about. So we're starting out in Pharaoh Man stage here. This stage is maybe not the intended stage for starting out in this game, but it does give us the Pharaoh shot, which is the most valuable weapon in this game. It can be shot in any of 8 directions, just like the NES counter. And the most important thing that's useful about it is that it can be charged up, just like the NES, which means that it can be on enemies that have a weakness. It will do 6 times the damage of just a normal Buster shot. So it becomes very valuable throughout the entire run. The first half of the stage is pretty straightforward. Coming up here in just a minute, though, Mannix is going to be facing some really just nasty jumps here. I think you were intended to take these nice and slow and wait for the blocks to drop, but this being a speedrun, we don't have time to wait for those. So he's going to be doing a series of slide jumps across there, and any mistake at all throughout that section is a good minute time loss there as you fall into the pit. But he nails it there, does a great job. Onto the boss. What we're hoping for here is that Pharaoh Man stays in one place and does his charge shots over and over again instead of jumping around the room. When he stands still like that, you have a set time where you can wait and just jump over his shots and just continually plug away at him. Unfortunately, he gets right there, 1 bar health left, and has to do it again. So, just tough luck there with the positioning. Just like in Mega Man 3, what Tremaine talked about earlier, you want to position yourself in the center of the room, and I think he was trying to kind of get himself in the center of the room, but unfortunately the iframes ran out just a little too soon on him. But still gets him down the second time without any problems. It's going to claim the Pharaoh shot here and head on to Ringman stage.
Yeah, that kill was... I like the death. Better say, it was pretty rough.
Now, Ringman stage is an interesting one. It's a little bit different from the NES version, if you're familiar with that, in that it becomes mostly a vertical stage. in the Game Boy games. It's also a very long stage, including 2 mini-boss fights. So in this stage in particular, weapon management of the Pharaoh Shot is very crucial because you need that weapon energy for both the mini fights and for the boss fight at the end of the stage. There's a number of these little platforms throughout the stage. They get trickier as it goes on in how whether they flow from left to right or right to left. You have to be very careful not to get caught up on one of those because usually they place them right over death pits, of course, this being a Game Boy Mega Man game. So, especially later in the stage, you have to be very careful with your timing on those.
Like, and as you notice, the game tends to also lag very heavily.
Yeah, that's a problem for especially every game from 3 on. There's our troll cannon right there on that screen transition. He had to duck down there at the last second to avoid it. That one has become a bit of a meme for us in how many perfectly good Ringman stages it's ruined. We're on here now to the second of the boss fights. Basically, the best way to handle those is to damage boost into the mini boss there, and then position yourself right there below him and fire a charge shot and then 2 small Pharaoh shots quickly to deflect. The downside is that taking damage from it takes 8 of your health for the damage, as well as using up a lot of your weapon energy. So you have to be very careful not to make any mistakes there or throughout the rest of the stage in managing your health.
Also gets a little refill for the HP, which is pretty nice.
Yeah.
But normally you shouldn't have problem with Ringman. He goes down very easily using the Pharaoh Shot.
Right. Ringman, just like the NES version, completely predetermined mechanic to it. And yeah, it's a good thing he got that extra energy there. But
yeah.
He has a completely predetermined pattern. It's going to be the same every time. He's only missed the one shot, which extended the fight a little bit, but otherwise it's going to go the same way every time. So it's a good job hanging in there on that one and getting through Ringman's.
Yeah, now to the probably easiest stage, right?
Yeah,
Toadman.
so Toadman, I think is the stage they intended you to start the game with, and it is pretty much the easiest stage and the easiest boss fight in the game. As a kid, I always loved this stage because, especially the boss fight, you can just, as long as you keep shooting, Toadman will never actually do anything but jump back and forth. So certainly a nice one when I was 7 or 8 playing this game, but pretty straightforward here. The only thing that kind of gets really annoying on this stage is the lag management, especially through the segments outside here where it's raining. You'll see that he's firing these diagonal shots up at these bird enemies. If you don't kill them as soon as they come on the screen like he does, then 3 bird enemies will spawn and then swoop at you, which goes very, very slowly. We also have the one real kind of glitch skip in the game here, where he just kind of jumps onto the mini-boss and slides straight through the room. Definitely not intended based on the little graphical effect that happens there, but he it's a very nice way to skip that first mini-boss in this.
Also, you can say that he stops to collect those P bags is because he will later then on buy something from Dr. Light, so that the final Wily stage goes a little bit faster.
Right. So this is the first game, I believe, until other than Mega Man 5 for Game Boy, up until Mega Man 7 on the Super Nintendo, to feature a shop where you can buy items and upgrades and that sort of thing. So the P chips that are being collected, the small ones are 2 P chips, and the large ones are 8 P We want to collect at least, I believe it's 80 of them by the last stage before we go into the Wily, because we're forced to go to the shop after at that point, and in the second half of the game we no longer get weapon refills between. So we have the option in the shop of buying a full weapon refill going into the Wily stage, and we want to make sure we have enough P chips collected throughout the game that we can afford that, because otherwise we're going to facing a lot of difficulty and a lot slower path trying to go through and buster everything through the final stage. So we finished up Toadman. Not too much to talk about there. We're on to Brightman now. Have the mechanic here of turning out and turning on the lights, both with enemies and with switches, as we'll see in just a minute here. But this one also features kind of one of the more difficult and more impressive feats of the run coming up here in just a minute. So what he's going to be doing here is a series of rush coil jumps and cancels to avoid a very section here where you'd normally be just waiting on a platform and resetting to fly across a long pit. And Jermaine, I believe you were the first one who really pulled this off. At the time that I was routing this game, I did not think it was possible to do this except in tool-assisted kind of way. But you and Mannix both have managed to make this far more consistent.
Yeah, it's pretty precise, and he also takes the damage boost there,
right?
Just to make sure.
So your timing has to be pretty precise in that you have to pause the game just after you jump on the rush coil, switch to another weapon, and then switch back to the rush coil, all in time to shoot it so that it will be there when you... and then, like Tremaine says, you take the damage boost off the enemy there at the end, and then you can stand on the spikes and fire the last rush coil to get up to the platform. In all, it saves about 15 to 20 seconds there doing that versus riding the platform slowly across. And so now here we have a pretty, not too bad section here, where you're just riding some kind of swinging platform. A couple of the enemies here at the end placed in such a way that they come on screen right at the worst possible time. But the ring weapon has a little bit larger hitbox than the normal Buster does, so it does a good job of helping deal with the kind of trolliness there.
Yeah, and you also collect the letter E there, so it doesn't stay on the screen and creates even more lag. Right.
That is one thing that we didn't talk about yet, was that you've solved them, I think, throughout all 4 of the levels here. There are letters in each stage that spelled out beat. And if you collect all 4 of those, then of course you get our bird friend beat from some of the later Mega Man games as well. However, in this run, there is a cutscene that takes 20 to 30 seconds to give you the weapon here after you collect the... And, you know, in addition, you have to go out of your way to collect a couple of the letters in some of the stages. So it's really not worth it in the end at all to collect it in this game. We'll be seeing more letters in the second half of and those letters are required. They'll spell out Wily, and you need them to gain access to the final area. So just like in Mega Man 3, we've completed the first 4 Robot Masters here, and we go into a kind of a little bit of a cutscene, and then another kind of interstitial middle stage here where a boss fight and kind of our first introduction to the
Mega Man Killer.
Mega Man Killer, yes, that's what I was looking for. A ballad or a ballade in this game. So we'll be seeing him in just a minute after we fight from a distance here Wily's tower in the cutscene.
And also the best friend, the RNG satellite.
Yeah. So coming up here, we have to fight the satellite outside of the station here to get access. And first of all, it has, I think, the best track of the Mega Man Game Boy games here, but it is completely random as to whether you will have a chance to in the opening stages here. So we're going to hope that the little thing there on the end of the circular disc opens up so that it can be attacked.
Oh,
so close to being perfect.
Got the perfect pattern.
Oh, he got the pattern and was one shot away.
Okay, at least it didn't get trolled. Like,
Yeah.
the worst thing that could happen now is that it just goes up and down and never opens for, I don't know, 20, 30 seconds.
Right,
But
that
he
still
got
wasn't
lucky.
bad. The one thing that's very difficult there is that you saw that there was a little flame that shot out when the eye of the disc opened. If that flame gets killed, or if it gets destroyed, the disc immediately closes its vulnerable spot. What makes that even more annoying is that when you're charging up the ferro, it can be hovering over you and kill the flame as you try and slide underneath it. So you have to be very careful. And he got the good timing there to get underneath it and just came so close to getting the perfect kill on it.
Also hitboxes.
Yeah. So Ballad here, the first fight, you just kind of stand here on the edge. He only hits you when he fires his. We get him down to one, and then we just have a standoff, and that's it. He warps away. We'll be seeing him again later, of course, because this is a Mega Man game. Now we're on to the second four Robot Masters. These are from Mega Man 5 on the NES. We start out with Crystal Man, who I think is the longest stage and has some of just the nastiest jumps in the entire game.
Yeah, but not as hard as Dustman.
True, it's not as bad as Dustman. Get some nice shortcuts here using the rush coil, getting through this vertical section here. The stage, I think, also has another first in the Mega Man series. The first one that they introduced that has true branching path in it.
Oh yeah.
So we'll be seeing that later on here. Before we do that, we're going to collect our first Wily letter up here in a couple of screens. So we're going to use the Ringman weapon to reach through the walls and collect that.
Yeah. Because the intended way would be going from the left side and collect it. But we are smart. We just take the ring weapon. Also, these dynamite Joes, they also like hit you very hard with 8 damage per hit. And we also see a very cool usage of the ring weapon again, getting that big refill.
Yeah. And so here we've got these giant, just laggy as hell robots that kind of, I guess, are there to polish the crystals or something. So here's where the branching path comes in, and we're going to take the top route here. The bottom route features an interesting, kind of unique section with some floating platforms, but it's a little bit slower, so we won't be seeing that in this run.
Yeah, there are a lot of
So we're gonna
appearing pillars.
Yeah.
Well.
So we're going to go through this way and just damage boost through 3 straight of the Diamond Joes. Collect a couple of little energies here, but we're going to hope to get one more energy refill later on, so take one more damage boost at the end of the stage if we can. These platforms are annoying because of the lag more than anything else. The timing can just get thrown off and your input can get eaten by lag and you'll just fall straight into the pit there. So he does a great job getting through that.
Ooh, the big refill. Very nice.
Big refill, that's very nice. So we'll be able to take a damage boost. We'll have a little bit of safety on the Crystal Man fight at the end here. Have to wait for these platforms here to go up. And here's the damage boost I was talking about. And then we're going to drop in and have one more screen to go. one thing that we didn't talk about is, to this point in the game, that Mega Man 4 has a slightly different mechanic on the charge shot than Mega Man 3 does, and then Mega Man 5 does later. Mega Man 4 has a little bit of knockback with the charge shot when you release it. It's only just a few pixels on the screen, but if you are caught off guard by it or just, careless with it, you can very easily get knocked off a platform right into a waiting pit. So, in particular, that last screen of Crystal Man stage there when you're holding the charge shot, I have more than once, when making that little fall down to the bottom half of that released my charge shot a little too soon and just knocked myself right into the spikes doing that.
Also a nice Crystal Man fight.
Yep.
Getting hit and collecting the leg shots, basically.
Right. So you actually want to take that hit at the beginning of the Crystal Man fight just to get those smaller crystals off the screen for lag purposes. Now we're on to Napalm Man stage, which has some pretty unique elements to it compared to the NES version.
Yeah, in the chat somebody already said it. The Toadman weapon has some unique features in certain stages. In Pharaoh it freezes the sand, like the quicksand, and you can just stand on it. In Napalm Man stage it kills the fire, so you can just get rid of that.
And there is a hidden path in this one that will take you to a Proto Man visit. If you go up at in the top route by doing exactly that, by using the Toad Man to kill the flames at the beginning of the stage, you can go up and visit Proto Man there, which is kind of a little neat Easter egg in this game. I think I want to say there's one more place that he shows up later in the.
So he uses Bright Weapon there because there are enemies coming out like rockets from the ground, and he avoids that by using Bright there.
Right. So the Brightman weapon has several nice uses, one of which here is that it keeps these platforms from falling down while it's in use. Of course, he uses the Ringman there to quickly grab the letter instead of jumping across, but we're going to switch back to Bright here. In this part, there are more of these little rocket enemies that come up from the bottom and can very easily knock you into the pit if you were not expecting them. But using the Bright weapon keeps them off the stage and just lets them slide straight through.
And also the floor behind you is collapsing down. So if you're going too slow, then no way for you to stand there anywhere.
Yeah.
And you also just fall into your death. I also think this is like the only game that forces you to wait on getting like the pathway to like the boss stage, or like not the boss stage but the boss segment, or like the beginning. There's this forced wait up. Right.
So Crystal Man is another boss fight. You basically just spam crystal shot at him, slide under the one set of missiles, and then just plug away. His same fight every time, so pretty easy there.
Yeah, pretty easy stage so far.
Yeah,
and also well played.
Yes. And so we're on to Stone Man next. Stone Man has, I think, is probably my favorite stage of the game, just for the variety of kind of platforming and weapon usage and everything that you've got going on in it. But there's a lot of technical stuff happening.
Yeah, somebody asked what you get if you visit him. Basically, you get this S item, which just refills everything, and I don't know if it gives you a life additionally, but it just refills everything.
Yeah, I couldn't remember. It's been a while since I visited that Proto Man, since it obviously doesn't come up in the speedrun very much, but. So we're on here to the first of our two Hippo mini-bosses, and we do some kind of quick charge shots from the Pharaoh there, and use the ring weapon here to attack underneath these enemies' shields, otherwise they're invulnerable from the front.
Wow, that jump.
Yeah, that is a terrifying jump to do under that the winged enemy there. You can see that he paused for a second and still he got the right amount of jump to get through it, but it's so.
Oh, it was a tough jump, dude. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Whew. He's nailing Mega Man 4. Like,
yeah, he's doing great.
Yeah. Wow. So if he gets a big weapon refill, he would try to get it and pick it up, because refills are quite necessary, especially for Ring and Pharaoh. So if one enemy drops something, he will probably just stop and change weapons for it.
Yeah.
Also, taking damage boost here is not a shame.
Yeah, it's definitely a safer strat, but not one that loses you much time, and it's definitely, just like that jump earlier that we were yelling about, you can get by it, but if you mess it up...
Spikes.
Yeah, if you go too low on it, you're dead. And that's pretty much a run killer, so... Yeah. So we're on to the Stone Man fight. This is one of the more RNG-heavy fights of the game. We got one dive into the ground there, but he looks like he played nicely otherwise. And got the kill right before he did the second high jump into the into the ground there. The napalm weapon is kind of frustrating because you can only have two on the screen. But he got the kill there, so that was a pretty nice pattern, pretty nice fight. And then we're on to the last of our Robot Masters and Charge Man stage.
Judgment stage basically is very easy. There are some jumps 3 tiles at wide which can be a little bit tricky, but overall the only hard part should be the Chargeman fight, because he deals a lot of damage.
Right, so this stage, yeah, it's like Tremaine said, is pretty easy. There are a couple of tricky jumps, not quite as bad as, not quite Dustman jumps, but they're still a little bit scary. But for the most part, this stage is just about conserving your health energy above all else. Because, like Tremaine said, the boss fight is quite scary. Got another one of those those rooms where you try and do the that was the first of those jumps I talked about, and it got him. So those 3 tile jumps there, they can be, you don't have much margin of error there, and so you jump just a little bit early on that one, and you saw the result. So, but what I was going to talk about here is this room right here. We got a chance to do a quick jump under the bath there. Missed the jump up to the platform the first time, but got it the second time there and got through the room a little. Gets the jump that time. You have to wait for these little robot mice to go back and forth here. And then this one is just all about timing your charge shots so that you can eliminate these little bomb-throwing enemies as soon as they come on screen. And so he does a really good job of getting all 3 of them there before they fire any of their shots, because those end up doing a lot of damage and a lot of lag if they fire as well. So we pick up our Y icon there. It's the last of our Wily letters. That'll give us access in just a minute to the final stage. Onto the last real screen here, we're just going to be trying to outrun this guy, fall down into the pit, and head into Chargeman fight. So luckily we have a full health bar here, which is nice. What Mannix is going to be trying to do here is a charge shot at the beginning, jump over Chargeman, switch to the stone weapon, and hopefully get caught in the hitbox to fire off the stone weapon to kill him. Got a really good pattern there. He didn't go into his invulnerability phase where he just kind of charges up and runs across the screen. So got a good kill on him. And we're heading off into the first of our Wily stages here, where we're going to be doing the refight with Ballad.
Final fight.
Well,
To that.
yeah.
So I don't even know what happens if you don't have the Y letters. I think you can just not access it, right? You have to go back to the
You can get to that
stages.
screen there where it opens the doors, but then it just warps you back out because you can't get past the doors, and you have to go back to the stages again and
Just redo it, yeah.
yeah, refine the letters. So now we have the second ballad fight. He gets sunglasses for it, but otherwise isn't all that difficult.
Yeah, he likes to place some explosive sprites on the floor, but other than that, his hitbox stays the same. He cannot touches you in the left corner. And what Mannix just does is he tries to go close to the center so that he gets out faster.
Right. And he's also trying to stand in the hitbox a little bit. What happens is when he fires the stone weapon there, while he's in the hitbox, all three of the stones hit him at once, which clears it from the screen and clears the weapon from the screen, prevents lag, and makes it a whole lot faster.
Yeah, you can just shoot faster again.
Yep. So we get the Ballad Cracker. Here is the weapon. It's a pretty nice weapon. It fires in all 8 directions, has a nice explosion effect. But first we have to escape from the stage where Ballad's hideout was. And so we have these exploding missiles here that we're going to have to blow up to clear a path for us to get out. And you're under a fairly tight time limit here because behind us the stage is exploded. So if you get caught in that, you will die instantly. So we do a lot of switching back and forth here between the Buster and the Ballad Cracker because the Buster can shoot through walls and the Ballad Cracker explodes on contact. But otherwise, that was a pretty clean, pretty quick escape sequence there. So now we're going to watch the terrestrial Wily Castle explode, and then find out that Wily has, of course, a secret space lair that he's been maintaining. I have no idea how he has the money for this stuff, but you know, it's Wily. It's just kind of his thing.
He just has the money. Wants
Yeah.
the lottery.
So we're gonna come back and get Rush modified so that we can travel the thing out in space. And while we're there, he's gonna say, "Well, why don't you check out my nice shop that you could have checked out the entire game?" So this is where we're gonna buy the weapon refill.
And there's a lot of reserve. You could also like get almost a W tank, which is 30 chips.
Right. Yeah, we're just short of that. But really, we're as long as we get that full weapon refill here, we're the final stage of the game here.
Somebody asked if Pharaoh shows also good on the Delayed Escape. Basically, yes. But yeah.
Yeah, Pharaoh is good, but the problem is that with the speedrun route, we've kind of usually pretty tightly Pharaoh usage to that point. And so we don't have a whole lot of it left. And the Ballad Cracker is very nice in that it
Doesn't consume
fires in 8 directions and also can take out multiple at once. So that's kind of why it gets you. So really this first part here is just jumping up and killing these med enemies and then just sliding through the rest of the stage. We're going to get a large at the end of the screen.
We got the crane.
Yep,
The
and
good
then we
old
have the
friend.
crane fight.
Yeah, the crane fight is a pretty cool fight as it can chooses between all of the weapons you got already from the 8 robots. And basically what you want is not the stone. You don't want
So of
stone
course we get
because-
the stone.
Yeah, because stone's the slowest and laggiest. The best one is ring.
Yeah.
And yeah, it goes down to Pharaoh. Basically everything or every like big enemy in the end goes down to Pharaoh, which is pretty nice as a speedrunner, because you can just kill most of the enemies with Pharaoh
Right.
fairly
I mean,
easily.
you saw how quickly that health bar went because it was just 3 charge shots and 1 small shot. So now we're here. We're gonna get the safety E tank here just for just in case anything goes wrong. But really, this stage is going to show the versatility of the battle because it destroys some of these enemies that take 10 to 12 hits from the Buster. We have this rush jet section here where we're going to just kind of fly across and then drop down here, switch back between a few different weapons.
He takes 3 shots.
Oh yeah, it's not a bad idea. The Pharaoh weapon you want to have, you're going to need it throughout the whole stage here. One thing that's annoying about the rush jet in this game is that you cannot move it up or down. So you have to get the positioning precise, and he does a really good job on that screen of getting it exactly in the right place. And then he uses the bright weapon to prevent more of those missile enemies from the Napalm Man stage from coming out. So now we're on to our first mini bite here. This guy will just bounce around the, and as long as there are, enemies on the screen, as long as there are enemies on the screen, it gets very laggy. So you want to kill them, but you don't want to kill all of them because if all of them are off the screen, then when it gets hit, it will stop and regenerate those enemies. So we get through that fight. We're on to the second half of the stage here. Got past another scary jump there underneath the little copter. And then just more Ballad and Rush Jet through this part.
Yeah, it's just Ballad and Rush Jet at this point.
Yeah.
And yeah, we have a second set of the Wily Eyes, as I call them. This time though, they are not floating through the air, they crawl along the top and the bottom of the screen. And if he does it correctly, he can get in a double hit, because they don't share the same invulnerable timer. He got hit there, unfortunately, but once they connect on the top of the screen, you can hit them with one Napalm weapon for twice the damage, and that most of the time kills them just instantly off.
Yeah. So now we're in the last stretch here, right before the reef. So we're in good shape here. Now we have to fight all 8 of the robot maps again.
Yeah, the good old refight system.
Yeah.
I haven't seen his weapon ammo, but it looked very good.
Yeah, he should be good on everything. I think he'll probably use the last of his Pharaoh. But everything else, everything he'll need, everything else that he'll need for the boss fights, good shape. So Toadman still goes down really easily here. We're going to use the Toad Flush here to quickly dispatch with Bright again.
And don't do the Tremaine kill. Don't do it.
So in Tremaine's former world record run, there was a glitch that I had never seen before to that point.
But yeah, when Brightman stops the time and you slide into him at the wrong frame, then you basically, your invulnerable time is just 0 all the time, and you get instantly killed. You get instantly crushed by him.
Right.
Because
So
he just accumulates.
the person immediately jumps into you and takes all of your energy.
Yeah.
It's not a great way to lose a run.
Yeah. So yeah, refights. Pharaoh Man, pretty easy.
Pharaoh Man's a little bit easier this time because to
Background.
worry. We came up just a little bit short on Pharaoh weapon here. Wasn't a problem.
Over
Just
there on
switch
the
over to the
Buster.
Buster for. And then we'll go into Crystal Man's fight here, since we can use the charge shot at the beginning to hit him while he jumps. And then we'll fight him the same way that we did the first time with the ring weapon.
Yeah, good kill there.
Yep.
Very good refight so far. Like the only big thing was like not having enough Pharaoh shots, but
And really,
that's
that only
stuff.
cost him a couple of seconds.
Yeah. So let's hope that he gets a good judgment fight here.
Yeah.
Good RNG again. Nice.
Yes, that's pretty much the perfect charge man fight. So that was kind of the same thing that I talked with Ballad earlier, where you want to fire that Power Stone while you're standing in the hitbox so that you can keep firing it instead of slowly scroll around the screen. And so he got that pretty much perfect.
Got a little hiccup here. He wanted to go top right. But yeah. Now he has to go around one more time, losing a little bit of time, but very nice stone pattern.
The jumps are a little unforgiving, trying to get just sort of annoying, but it's not the end of the world here. Get the tight jump back out of the capsule and
he gets
get into the napalm fight here.
Nice one, Mannix. Very nice.
So now we get one more. Now we get one more screen here where we charge all of our weapons up that we need to. In this case, it's really just the crystal weapon that we need to recharge. We got plenty of everything else. And we're going to pull out Rush. We get one more short cutscene, then we're going into the first of our actual Wily.
It's very cool cutscene there.
Yeah, this cutscene's really cool. The first stage of the Wily fight here, the weakness is only at the top middle of the screen. And really, the intended way that you're supposed to hit him is to jump onto the fists that come onto the screen and fire weapons at him that way. But we're going to try and sneak in a few extra shots by the Rush Coil here, jumping on it, and then switching to Crystal, which is the weakness.
I only got one there.
Yeah.
A little bit unfortunate, but...
And so the fists can have two patterns from either side. And unfortunately, we've gotten the less desirable pattern both times, where it's done the kind of the quick pattern here. And this time he gets the better pattern, but unfortunately gets hit by the fist, which means that you can't jump on it. So you kind of have to keep switching. So we're going to actually see a Power Stone kill here.
He goes for swag.
Yeah.
A fun fact is, you can kill the Wily phase before it even starts with a stone, but it soft locks the game.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, you
cannot. It doesn't handle it quite as nicely as in Mega Man. You get the kill where the health meter even loads up. In this game, you can get the kill, but the game just kind of soft locks. So we're going to take the E-Tank here and switch the Ballad's weapon for the second part of this. This one's just RNG. We just hope that it stays open long enough. Didn't get a lot of luck. Yeah. So you can only hit him when the mouth opens for these two cycles, where you have to dodge these shots coming from the antenna, and then the second one where he charges at you, you can avoid it by firing the buster. But it's faster just to take the hit.
Yeah.
Anyway, he gets the 2-cycle on that, which is still pretty good. And now we're on to the final stage of this fight. So Wily goes up into his capsule, and the only way that we can hit him now is by using the Ballad weapon, firing it upward. So we're going to have to kind of just time the shots here to avoid the balls that he fires out, and then kind of just slide along. But this section, once you get the timing for it down, really isn't that hard. So hopefully we'll have a clean fight here.
Also, an interesting strat would be using the Pharaoh weapon, because Pharaoh, if you charge it full, it deals 6 damage to him. So far, yeah, it's like every shot there. It was a pretty clean fight.
Yeah, that was a really good fight.
He only missed one, I think. It was a very clean fight. And that is game.
That's 4.
Very nice.
So now that we're on to Mega Man 5, time to bring in Mr. Cab.
Mega Man V!
Mega Man V!
I just sit around on the internet all day waiting for people to play this video game and then mysteriously appear in their voice channels. Hi, everybody. Good job, Will.
Thank you.
Yeah, good job, Will.
So, Yeah, welcome to Mega Man V. And Tremaine, feel free to keep jumping in whenever you want on this. But
Sure.
we don't have Robot Masters. I'm sure that's the first thing everybody's noticing. We have Star Droids.
What's happening?
No. This is original content on a Game Boy game.
Damn it.
I believe Mannix is playing Rock Band World 5. They're basically the same game except for about 30-ish seconds of text speed differences between the J cart and the English cart. Oh well. We already just blew right past those choppers, which actually you saw Mannix lay some pretty precise shots into to take down without having to waste a ton of time. But we should probably start actually talking about some of the other mechanics of this game, because Neptune's stage is pretty straightforward for the most part. We're going to see some damage boosting here to get past some steam jets, but I don't know, Tremaine, you want to talk about the Mega Arm, or should I talk about the Mega Arm?
Talk about the Mega Arm, but the question first is, does he get the jump?
Ooh, we'll see if he gets the jump in a little bit here. He doesn't get the second damage boost. You are supposed to hit that steam. The steam jets do, I think, 4 points of damage, and if you get hit by those ones when you're falling, just like you did earlier coming onto that screen, you can use the iframes on the next screen to go through some vents. Mega Man 3 fans know the 5-frame jump. I think that's a 3-frame jump. Nice!
That was close. That's tight, dude. He got it.
Of course he got the jump. Why are y'all surprised?
I know, right?
Yeah,
That's in Mega Man 4 as well. That's like 3 frames. In that case, it saves about 3 seconds. I think if you go through and you take the hit anyway, it still saves a second over waiting entirely. And the other thing there, again, like if you're taking a lot of damage boost through this stage, your health when you're first learning this might be a little questionable. So that damage boost can be one you might just not even want to try. Our first 2-spike slide, which is also annoying. So that arm, if you watch the opening cutscene of this game, Mega Man's going to fire at Terra, the Earth Star droid, a lot of buster shots, a lot of those Mega Man 4 buster shots. He even has the recoil in the cutscene. It doesn't work. It's worthless. So Dr. Light says, here, I'm going to give you the Mega Arm. It's going to be awesome. And we'll only see it again in Mega Man 7 with the Super Adapter, but it's going to be awesome. And it really is. It does 3 points of damage fully charged. It does 2 points half charge, which is great because Neptune hops across the room, which gives us enough time to kind of, lay these half charged into him, jump over these saltwater shots. Although Max is going to just dodge that one, play it a little safe.
Very clean fight. Very clean fight.
You do want to stay close to Neptune as he's firing, because if you're not, he does a different pattern where he causes salt water to rain down from the ceiling. And more than being hard or difficult to do anything with it, it's just laggy. It's laggier than the entire Mega Man 3 card is, so just stay away from it.
I do want to talk about something that you guys overlooked in talking about your one-frame jumps and your Star Droids, is that this game is in color. This game came out in 1990, the kind of original Game Boy's life cycle, and was one of the first games that featured the extended functionality of having the 16-color palette for the Super Game Boy. So it's a really neat addition to the game here.
Yeah, and I mean, the only funny thing from there is because of that, it actually means we don't want to play this game on a Super Game Boy. I mean, it works just fine still. But if you have this on a Game Boy player, I think it saves like some trivial amount of time, but it's enough.
I haven't even tested out how much it saves.
Yeah,
but it's some seconds, I guess.
And now we're in Mercury stage. You can use these walls here to kind of line yourself up to avoid those spikes. I think between all of us, Tremaine, you use Neptune in the second half of the stage. I use it in the first half of the stage. Mercury's weakness isn't even actually Neptune. Neptune's just a really powerful weapon, and it's extremely useful for getting by a lot of obstacles in the stage, partially because of its arc. It actually gains some momentum from the D-pad buttons you're pushing, so if you're holding forward, it has a very low arc. If you're holding up, it has a very high arc, and you can start putting these together too. You can see there these really long shots of Neptune. So we're just going to use that. We're really going to go through this stage and not really do much. Killing things, just to get through it. This enemy here, very nice. That enemy kind of catches, I guess, like its Dust Crusher is the best way to describe it. It's invulnerable while it's holding it, so it just takes a little while to get past it at all. This is an easy screen. Just release B as you're going through there. That's your speed tech for this stage. You saw there, though, he fired once and he hit twice. That's the other nice thing about the Mega Arm. When that arm is snapping back, as we like to say, it still does 3 points of damage if an enemy is not in its like very slight iframes. So you can use that in situations like that to basically deal 6 points of damage with one buster shot. And it's just really fun. This is Mercury. So named, I guess, because he's going across the screen like that. So full charges the whole way, right, Jermaine?
Nah, full charge not the right way to do this fight.
So
the pattern is very interesting, actually.
So Mercury's pattern is controlled by whether he has an even or an odd number of hit points left. Tremaine, you've been tasking this more off recently than I've been timing this in an airport with a stopwatch. I think it's all of 2 seconds you save by doing the 2 fast patterns at the end over doing all full charges or all anything else.
It's 2 to 3 seconds there.
In some of the early SDA runs of this game, there was also a Neptune shot that was used there. That also just does 2 points of damage. So just like you saw Mannix use there, the half charge, it's going to do 2 points of damage. That's what you want to do to keep him on the same. I think in that case, it's an odd number of hit points to cross the room. You just want that extra fast crossing of the room in there with the same number of cycles. And that gives us the Snatch Buster. If you're playing on in the US, it's the Grab Buster. It's actually a really strong weapon. All the weapons in this game are really good, actually. We're going to see some of the Buster as we go through this stage. It's Mars's stage.
You're going to sing?
I don't know if I'm going to sing. I don't have the music lined up. I'll be off key. All you have to know
everybody hates Mars's stage.
Super laggy hecking Mars's stage.
Yeah.
There's lots of stuff that explodes in Mars's stage. Just nobody likes it. It's over.
And apes.
So you can actually already see the lag here in this stage. Basically, as long as anything's exploding, my experience has been whenever anything's flying on the screen, the game just lags a lot. So your goal on the screen is to kind of reduce that as much as possible, just killing as much stuff, keeping the explosions off screen, all the good stuff. Here's our second 2-spike slide. I hate those in this game. So I think Mega Man's slide distance is probably like 3.5 tiles or something like that.
Yep.
So it's really tight to get those. So this is the first of these 2 mid-bosses in Mars's stage, and I'm going to lay one of the full charges into him. That does 3 points of damage. Now, every shot from Mercury's weapon does 2. You can also see every time it connects, sort of these small drops pop out of it and start gravitating back towards Mega Man. I feel like they're floating around him like electrons sometimes. So Mercury's weapon, besides being a rapid-fire 2-point of damage attack, also will straight up heal Mega Man. So whenever you're playing this game, whenever you're like in a tight spot, just use Mercury's weapon. So the rest of the stage from here is a lot of just sort of, going past these exploding enemies and trying to time things out. Next screen, we're actually going to see the Tremaine boost. See if we can back boost off this missile onto the next screen and slide past the Spiny before your iframes run out, really. It's a tight window.
Very clean so far.
Very nice. Just hit the shot instead of the droid, whatever we're going to call this thing. And then just switch back to Buster for the last hit to basically get the small drops off the screen. So Mars, we do have a weakness. We're going to use Neptune's weapon here as soon as we get past the gorilla here. Neptune, again, you have that arcing shot, which you can control a little bit, which we're going to see right here a little bit. There's an enemy there. The first shot actually missed. That thing's supposed to go down in 2. Neptune is an expensive weapon at 2 points of energy a shot. You can fire the last one on the 1 bar of energy, but we need to hit Mars twice here, so let's see. I don't think we got the double, did we?
No, we didn't.
Yeah.
But it's enough.
That's about the right time to kill him anyway. The photon missiles he fires in that first cycle there will absorb the Neptune shot, so nothing happens. The second phase, those shots are destructible, whether by Neptune or the Buster. So if you're standing there with the Buster, you could just mash into it and hope for the best. You'll at least survive. But if you see anything after that, you didn't do the fight right. That first section is pretty scripted, so you can do the same thing every time. Shoutouts to the photon missiles. I'm thinking about it more as we go because I already said all the weapons in this game are great. Photon missile might be like the least great of the weapons because it's pretty normal and with that long build-up time before it fires. But we use that anyway.
But it's the one weapon, you know.
I know.
For mid-boss.
we'll see that soon.
Yeah.
So we're talking about soundtracks a little bit earlier. Venus' stage, I think, has a great soundtrack. I feel like it doesn't completely fit the Mega Man sort of universe almost because it's too good. It's not like robot-y at all.
And it's very catchy.
It's great. It's very catchy.
And we have a new feature with those waterfalls.
Yep. Waterfalls in the stage. If you are standing on the ground, or really if you're in any sort of a jump, the waterfalls will just kind of push you right through the floor. So don't get caught in the waterfall. You can be hanging onto a ladder as long as you're not trying to climb the ladder, which we might see in a little bit.
Yeah, we probably will see that. We will go for that.
Yeah, I would think so. It's one of those minor time saves on this very screen. Oof.
Almost got hit by the
Not
bee.
the bees.
Not the bees.
So the bees in this game actually do quote-unquote poison Mega Man. They make him laggy.
Yeah.
It's like they started actually using lag as a weapon in this game.
And it's also a terrifying weapon. Like, having a lag is very rough.
So those bubbles, if you jump on the big bubbles, you get a high jump. If you jump on the not as big bubbles, you get like a middle jump. That's going to be relevant again in another screen pretty soon. And I still say it's the worst room in the game.
Yeah,
I know there's yeah.
It's coming up right now.
Actually, this next screen coming up here, that's another one of those 2-tile slides. That's actually the very reason I've been pointing it out every time we see one. You have to line yourself up on those bubbles and still get that slide moving up and down. Oh, good. So from there, I mean, Venus' stage is pretty simple. These bubbles, I want to say even on the original Game Boy release, there's a slightly different shading to those bubbles on the ceiling. That might be a lie. It's been a while since I played this game in pure black and white.
I think there is, yeah.
And all of them, they have some mechanics for if you're in a slide while you approach them or other things like that. They don't come out right away, but either way, let's talk about Venus. Like a lot of other Robot Masters across the Mega Man universe, Venus has an AI quirk in that every time you shoot, Venus jumps. So you can use this to your advantage and basically manipulate him right into those shots, especially because the missiles will freeze in place for a moment. You know, I was talking about how from most situations that's kind of do you want a weapon that's going to stay behind? But when you plant that above Venus, you know, might just jump right into it because it's not going anywhere. So that does bring us to the mid-boss, doesn't it?
Yeah, that does bring us to him. But first, let's have a short cutscene, I say.
Yeah. I don't even remember the name of the weapon here. Bubble bombs.
Bubble bombs.
But first we get a better weapon. Well, second we get a better weapon. It's Rush Coil.
180. Rush Coil. Or 1-800.
1-800 R-Coil.
R-Coil.
RSH Coil. Don't actually call that number. I don't know where it goes. So again, the plot of this game. Oh, you can talk about it.
I'm not particularly sure, but I think on this one it's Mega Man coming to this airport place or like rocket place, and he's like, it's too quiet. Like, what's going on here? It's way too quiet, and that's what he's saying right here. And once he goes through the door, it's not gonna be quiet anymore, because we'll face off some pretty nasty guy that we know from the starting scene, Terra. And he just basically says, Mega Man, this is your doom, because we have our Yellow Devil once again for you here, and he's gonna finish you off.
Oh, it's not Yellow Devil, it's Dark Moon.
Oh, it's Dark Moon.
We gotta get a planet theme going. If we say Yellow Devil, they'll think we ripped it off an NES game.
Alright. Right. This one is special. Okay, I forgot what I said. It's not Yellow Devil, it's a Dark Moon.
Yeah, God forbid anything in the Mega Man series be unoriginal.
So Mannix is standing in a specific pixel here. Let's see what happens.
Unfortunately,
Got the last shot. Nice.
Yeah, we got the last shot. You can one cycle this guy on the right side. It's very specific on the timing. It's doable. At first, most of the people said, "Yo, this is not doable," but yeah, proven wrong. So he got enough shots in so that he could kill him on the left side. As you can see, if you don't kill him, he switches sides, and that takes a lot of times there.
About 20 seconds.
Yeah,
Something
about
in
10
that range.
Yeah. So
If
the
you're-
one cycle is pretty good for speedrunning.
If you're standing in the middle of the room, you can get 5 missiles to hit him. The principle of the one cycle is with those wiggle jumps. You saw Mannix jump and shoot to the left by accident. If you shoot to the right there, and then you continue the pattern as normal, planting the missiles into the eye, the build-up time of those missiles is just enough that Dark Moon's iframes run out. And you do this a couple of times, and you're basically getting 2 hits in one jump as a result. And that's what you need to get the 7 hits in to take it out. We also have our required shopping trip here before we call 1-800-Space Marine. And we bought a W tank for 30 chips. If you don't have 30 chips in a speed run, which I think we've had a couple of runs where somebody only has 26 or 28. That's pretty much a reset. But at the same time, if you're just in a race or no reset situation, just go shopping later. No big deal.
That's right, because we need that W tank.
And much like Mega Man 2 and 4, for the rest of the game, we do not get weapon refills between stages. That tank does 8 hit points of damage, just like the Manta Rays and Dive Man stage. I've been watching this for a while now. Oh my goodness. Oh,
Didn't take
we
it.
didn't take the refill!
What?
Oh, that's fine, but I mean, whenever I'm playing this game at this point, I'm looking for that refill for Mars, because you just need as much weapon energy as you can get. Like, that refill right there for Neptune is a good thing. This
Now
one,
he gets it.
Now he's going to get it. Now he's getting
Nice.
it. Good. That is actually worth it. Pluto's song, I see it in chat. This is the best song. If I ever went up to bat in a baseball game again, this would be my batting music. Pluto's stage itself has a lot of... You've already seen like the tank, these falling girders. That's basically the theme here. Pluto's going to have actually one of the most broken weapons in the series if we can get to it. The problem with this stage is you saw that 8 hit points of damage from the tank there. There's another 2 of them we have to get past before this stage is over, and that's a lot of hit points of damage to take. So let's see how Mannix can handle the stage. You basically don't want to get hit by anything else, or you want to just use Mercury.
He takes
in a
Mercury here.
In a marathon situation, no complaints with Mercury.
Wow, he got
He got the damage boost. Oh my!
That's nice.
I don't think
That's
I can say what I want to say on this stream. It's not PG enough.
So yeah, that damage boost from the ceiling part is very precise. Like, you have to time your shot, like not your shot but your jump, to get hit by that falling piece, instead of the 8 damage the tank does. And he nailed it.
Nailed that jump. So, Tremaine, were you disappointed we didn't see Proto Man and Mega Man 4?
A little bit.
Were you, Will? I have good news.
He's coming back.
We were overdue.
Wow.
You got the weapon drop. And
You got the weapon drop, nice.
That's honestly fine. That's actually the one place in the game I at least say I want an S capsule. Yeah, because then you would get the refill on everything, your health, the weapons, if you didn't get any other weapon drops, and it's great. Health on Pluto is not that big a concern because Mercury is the weakness. He's going to go for the coil kill.
Ooh,
Can do this.
1-800. There we have him. That was a very good fight. He got all the shots in he needed to, and basically killed him off. Top left corner, 1 HP left.
That's pretty much how you want to do it. Venus works up there as well. It's kind of up to you which one you want to use, but either way, you want that kill. Saves about 4 seconds over letting him stay in the corner and attack you a few times and then getting him when he drops down. And now we get a very interesting weapon.
Very broken weapon, indeed.
You see at the end of that dash, Mega Man's flashing like he just got hit by an enemy. Those are iframes, just for using this weapon. We can make our own iframes now. Pluto's... Is this a bad stage select, or is he doing something I don't know?
No, that's a bad stage select.
Whoops. All right, we can talk about Pluto's weapon and while we see what Mannix does here.
Is he going for it? Because
you actually could. You just don't have Jupiter's weapon.
Wouldn't it be fast to just kill? Yeah.
Yeah.
Just go into the spikes.
The spikes is the fastest way out of this stage. Shoutouts to Mega Man 4 cutting room floor boss.
Yeah. So he didn't want to go to Uranus. He wanted to go to Saturn.
Jupiter, actually.
Jupiter, right. Saturn is the third one. Yeah, Jupiter. And in Jupiter, we're gonna see a lot of Pluto weapon usage because it's such a good and broken weapon, as Cap explained earlier.
So Pluto's weapon has 3 charge levels. If you don't use any charge at all, you shoot lemons, which is kind of useful in its own right. And that doesn't use weapon energy. If you use, and Tremaine, you've been looking at this a lot closer, I think it's something like 15 to 30 frames is the half charge. Well, it's like the quarter charge, and it uses a half bar of energy. Something between 30 and 60 frames is like the middle one, and that takes a full bar of energy. And if you go longer than that, you get the big charge for 2 bars of energy. The only difference between these is how far Mega Man runs. At the end of all of them, it's the same amount of damage, and Mega Man gets iframes, and you just start going through things, and it's amazing. And all these Joes, they don't have shields, but they're definitely Joes. Yeah, we're just gonna run right through them, literally.
And if you're wondering, when they charge up, you cannot hit them, so they're invulnerable, and then best way is just to go through them. So Pluto weapon is the best choice here.
That slide there is very intentional to make sure that enemy does not drop down from the ceiling. Yes. That is a very tight window to get that, very small charge of Pluto in before you make that jump through the Joe there on the next screen. We might see some tight jumps on this screen.
Yeah, hopefully he gets it.
Yeah, there's a very small window to get the jump from the Joe's platform to this next raised platform. And that's the worst jump in the game. It's very easy to get knocked back into the pit by that Joe.
Yeah, he took extra safety measurements here, but he got it. That's very cool.
Because the checkpoint is the screen after that Joe. You just don't want to miss it. It's happened in too many races, and I'm always heartbroken when I see it.
Yeah, it's painful.
Nice refill! That is actually a nice refill.
Luck. Yeah, he has insane luck. Really. Very nice refill there.
So yeah, you saw him using the lemons even there just because, we want to conserve Pluto. We're not getting any refills between stages. As much as we can kind of, get through a lot of parts of stages without using a lot, you want to just keep as much of it as you can for as long as you can. You also saw something interesting there. Mega Man stopped flashing near the end of that when he went through that last Joe. More about that later. Jupiter stays on the top of the screen. Venus's weapon floats along the top of the screen. Seems like a match made in heaven. Or at least the heavens, I guess.
He didn't get the 2 cycle, which is not that bad, but it's preferred to have that. But still a very nice stage and a very good boss fight.
Yep. As long as you kill him kind of during that second swoop, it's not terrible, especially for this sort of a setting. But to your point, I think it's probably another 3 or 4 seconds if you don't get the 2 cycle. Since you can't hit him while he's firing the laser of destiny. Jupiter's weapon, the electric shock, is ridiculously powerful. Also, if you're playing this on 3DS Virtual Console, that enemy didn't die in the cutscene there because 3DS Virtual Console mucked with iframes for some reason. But that aside, that version of the game's just fine. The static shock, though, the electric shock, does kill a lot of enemies in one hit. The drawback is you can't walk while you're using it, but you can jump while you're using it, and you can slide to cancel the whole thing.
And also we have a very nice gimmick here in this stage with the changed gravity.
Another weapon drop.
This guy.
Jupiter's the next weapon we're going to use a lot of. In fact, I'm a little... Well, no, not at this point, I guess. I'm trying to remember when I switched to Jupiter's weapon at all in this stage, and it might have been right there. Getting through that with one shock killing the missile and the lag generator pendulum bot, yes, it generates lag, it's a tight jump to do it. The electric shock also destroys shots, so like normal bullets on the screen. You might have just caught it there. We might see it again later on in the stage.
Wow. The 80% Eddie. Every time.
Yeah, Eddie very often drops weapon energy, and this is probably the one game in the Mega Man series where you actually really want him to.
Especially in this stage, he tends to always, not always, but to 80%, as I call him, 80% Eddie drops the big refill for the weapon.
So Jupiter's weapon also has a slightly bigger hitbox than it appears to vertically. It's hitting a little higher up and down. So this lag generator, and I do mean lag generator, that we're going to see at the end of the stage, there's the shot, and you saw the electric shot that was fired into that bullet to destroy it. Yep, that's a good thing.
Yeah, it was a very clean stage. Like, we got everything. The refill from Eddie, and no hiccups.
Saturn with Buster is absolutely the worst fight in the game. He has a black hole attack that kind of keeps your arm sucked in, and you just can't do anything while that's going on. And you don't even connect with that shot, and you're just kind of sitting there wondering, why didn't I come here with electric shock and just do this fight the easy way? Just why? Because you saw how ridiculously easy that was. There was no gimmick to that fight. It really is that easy. There's a couple of points where Saturn can kind of hit you and otherwise kind of mess up your, perfect optimal kill. But beyond that, the fight is that easy. And then you get the screen killing black hole weapon. Also, the only time we'll see it in the game, Rush Jet.
Nah, don't jinx him.
We might see it as a safety to get around using it later.
Yeah.
But at least in the preferred optimal speedrun route, etc., you never see Rush Jet again. It's the same Rush Jet as Mega Man 3 and 4 Game Boy. We keep talking about the same thing as with 3 and 4 Game Boy, and I'm not sure if anybody ever talked about up-canceling slides, so I at least wanted to shout out to that. If you push up in a slide in these games, you will pop out of the slide. You'll just stand up. And it's incredibly useful in a couple of spots once you're used to it.
And that works even after like one frame sliding. So you can basically slide and slide cancel it after one frame.
So there's the Jupiter kill on the mid-boss.
What?
What? And this is where Rush Coil actually does get used in the run, besides just the Pluto kill. This time for sure you're using it to get through the vertical screens. Mannix has been getting literally all of the weapon drops, so we're not even going to wait to see what Eddie does there, which is good because it was a life drop.
Yeah, he has tremendous luck with the refills. Honestly, he gets every refill you can like wish for in a speedrun. It's insane.
Oh wow, he's going for all the slides there. There's a safety strat on that screen of just use Saturn's weapon to take out the birds, because birds are in fact jerks. But that's faster.
Indeed. And he also got another big refill.
I'm a little surprised he didn't go back for it, but he definitely has enough energy, at least for a little while.
Yeah.
This next screen, the one thing I want to say, this first jump, don't jump forward when you kill this bird. You'll jump right into those spikes and you'll be very sad. And you'll say, why didn't I listen to Mr. Cabin Tremaine?
Yeah.
Oof. Little mini dash on that platform to have iframes for the second bird. Pluto is the weakness for Uranus. Uranus is this giant beefy robot that actually it's almost a Gutsman knockoff here. It's going to throw these blocks at you. Uranus also doesn't move very much, and Breakdash makes us very fast. I hope you didn't blink. That was 4 hits.
And it doesn't matter how much you charge Pluto, even a half charge or a quarter charge is enough to give him the same amount of damage.
Yeah, so you just need that first big charge to get past that first block. Uranus shakes the screen, which interrupts your charge. He lifts up that block, at which point you can't charge past it. So Uranus's entire pattern is basically based around not letting you use Pluto's weapon. But you can get a quick kill, and quick kills are good because we're speedrunning. The Deep Digger is probably the worst weapon in this game. It's, at the very least, kind of a very straightforward utility purpose weapon for picking up blocks. It's one of those. Also, shoutouts to Futurama. I see it out there in chat. Don't worry, I'm thinking it.
Do you know what the text box say here?
I believe in the US cart it says, "I finally defeated all the star droids." Like, it actually says that. Terra shows up. In the US version, it's Terra. In the Japanese manual, it's named Earth. Either way, shows up and curses you for foiling his plans, and for the first time mentions having some sort of master, because Terra is the final boss of this game, right? So you open this fight with the Buster Shot to do just enough damage, and
Nice.
You saw Terra jumped back as Mannix approached the center of the screen. It's basically once you go into those center two tiles of the screen, Terra jumps back and tries to teleport away, and reappears elsewhere on the screen. So the whole purpose of that Buster Shot is to basically give you some more blocks, make it easier to be on top of the blocks and get centered, all that other good Mega Man speedrun stuff.
Also, the pattern you didn't see is that he has another shot that stops Mega Man if he gets hit, and you just are frozen in midair or frozen on the ground, whether it hits you in air or on the ground, and you can just not move until you get hit, and that can take several seconds.
Yeah, it's a laggy attack at that too, so it's really good that he didn't get hit by it.
Also, do you see the star or this moon?
It's a moon. It's too big to be a space station.
That's no moon.
Wait,
No way.
it's him.
Why is there a giant W on a skull on front of that moon? You don't think?
Also, do you see the pipe on the left side?
Oh my goodness.
It cannot be.
Somebody make the call.
Luke Skywalker's going to show up and fire a missile into that pipe on the left, and just in the.
That's the speed run. Orb. Oh no, we're not saying that.
No, we don't say that.
Welcome to some of the actual best music in the game.
The
This
music
entire
is fantastic.
this asteroid section is scripted. Rush does have a charge shot. If you push jump, you have a boost. So boost to chase and get through the asteroids. I just want to let this music play.
Enjoy the music. Ah yeah, these guys.
So the snub fighters that are too far to be out this far in space on their own, I guess. They each have 4 hit points. Their speed is RNG. Their spawn point is RNG, and we hate them.
Yeah. But he's doing very nice. Like, he has a good fight so far. Even though the spawns are all like, were there some from the front?
He had one that kind of got away, but it wasn't that bad. These lasers again are scripted, like the asteroids in the beginning. So it's first one's up, next one's down. The next two come in rapid sequence, and the last one is in the middle of the screen. It's important to dodge it all because I don't think this stage has a checkpoint. So if you get wrecked by the Death Star, I think you're back at the start.
Yes, you're back to the start. You have to do it again. So let's see how he does the Wily fight here. Or not Wily fight, but the space moon fight.
Yeah. This is the entire pattern you're seeing here. Just dodge the laser. You can only fire and damage it after it fires the super laser. On the top side, it's dodge the missiles. On the bottom side, it's dodge the bullets. Then same thing. Jermaine, how fast can a task get through this?
3 cycle. Like, you can finish this fight off with 2 full charge shot and a lemon. which is 7 hits or 7 damage per cycle, which is not human viable. You cannot do that. It's too precise.
You have that last cycle is the one where you only do 4 points of damage. As a human, you're looking to do 5 points of damage every cycle. So if you miss one shot, you can miss one shot, basically. And we made the first jump here.
Oof. Didn't see the shame walk.
So that is another branching path. You want the top path here for sure. The bottom path is where you would have to summon Rush Jet again.
Like, what is wrong with his drops? Like, he gets all of the big refills.
I'm ready to say that this is a task playing, because this is insane right now.
Yeah, this drop luck is really insane, and he gets, like, the drops he needs.
So we're going to open this with refights, because this is a 1 through 5 run, I guess. This is Anchor. You might remember him from probably about 2 hours ago, maybe a little more than that. Same fight. Pretty much the same thing, except now we have charge shots, so Anchor goes down a lot faster.
But you cannot hit him while he's jumping. They fixed that, which is pretty bad.
So while... we haven't really talked about it since Neptune's stage, but half charges on the Buster is your best sort of damage per second. That's the DPS you're looking for, so you use that on Anchor. He's not even getting the second drop. Whoa, his iframes are way out. Pluto's weapon kind of has a mechanic that, as far as I can tell, works a lot like the Flash Stopper on Mega Man 4 with Bright's weapon, Mega Man 4 NES at least, where as long as you're sliding, for whatever reason, it forgets to take away your iframes. And we abuse that fact whenever we can, which is pretty much that screen and that one jump where I originally pointed it out in Jupiter's stage. So again, this screen, just kind of go through it. Oh my goodness, he didn't use Pluto's weapon at all.
Yeah,
that's kind of risky because a lot like the Skullman trap in Mega Man 4, it's hard to get Rush to spawn in there. That one is at least possible to get out of. Yeah, I'm not even thinking. We didn't talk about Quint. It's the same as Mega Man 2. You want to hit him in the head, but used Mars missiles. This is Punk. Punk's back from Mega Man 3. We want Saltwater. Which is weird, because in Mega Man 3, I think he's only vulnerable to Buster.
Yeah, he has no weakness there. Need some salty tears to hit him.
So this is where they finally put the spike traps in. I think, Tremaine, you figured out that you can actually get pushed by the spikes as long as you don't try to move on the side of them.
If you don't hold into a direction, you can just get pushed to the side by them. And Blade, he still has the same problem. They didn't fix that, so you're safe in the left corner, and you also have a very good weakness weapon with Bubble Bomb. Optimally, you would use Mars missile or the Photon missile, but we just conserve that for the refights, which are coming up right here.
Yeah, it's an ammo problem is the only reason you wouldn't go ahead and just use Mars. So most of the refights, you're going to see pretty much the same fight. Venus, definitely you're still using Mars missiles. Jupiter is going to be in the next capsule down in the middle of the left side. And you're still using Venus there. Come on. There it is. All right, we found it. We've all been there, everybody. We've all been there. But next is Mars is going to come after this. And as much as Jupiter's fight's only different because there's no ice on the floor, the Mars fight, we might run out of salt water. There's a pretty good chance it's going to happen. So what's the backup? Turns out Jupiter's weapon is ridiculously powerful. It's like the ultimate backup for this game. It's going to do 2 points of damage per hit on Mars. And you get a lot of Jupiter. And Saturn is next anyway. So in this case, I didn't see how much Neptune Mannix has left, but we're just going straight to Jupiter.
I think he has like 1 bar. So you could have gone for the double hit, but yeah.
Yeah, not really worth it. The only thing I would do is, because it's easy to have all of your Jupiter shots canceled or otherwise kind of mess up this fight, depending on your skill level and your comfort level with doing it, Mannix is obviously very comfortable with doing Mars's first, and that's awesome. Fighting Saturn first, just to be absolutely sure you don't have to do this fight with the Buster, isn't a terrible idea.
Ooh.
Got caught looking the wrong way.
Yeah. You cannot face the other direction once you've shot it. You're basically locked in, so you have to slide cancel it. Or wait until it runs out.
So as always, that first Robot Master, we actually have a weakness for it now, but it's actually the Mega Man killer's weapon, as it would be. I don't think Terra is officially a Mega Man killer. But all the same, Spark Chaser is actually Neptune's weakness.
I don't think he's considered a Mega Man killer. I think he's just a star droid.
Yeah, I know. He's the 9th boss, though.
Yes.
So we got this fight. Uranus is going to be next. Yeah. When he's actually in the corner with 4 hit points, then you do want to use Venus just to get all those hits in while you can.
Very good backup there on that fight. This time also no problems in getting into the refight capsule.
So while we're doing the quick kill on Uranus again, if you're keeping score at home, you might realize Mercury is going to be the 8th one. Ooh, didn't quite make it.
Oof. Oof.
There. Yeah, just go to Buster and do it.
Yeah.
So he has enough Pluto. That's good. When you enter this fight, I'm not sure he's going to do it. You can actually start charging while Mercury makes his grand entrance. And if you let go... Well, he didn't let go. Okay, he got the slide anyway.
Nice.
I've had plenty of situations where you let go, you charge right into Mercury, and while you're actually in the attack animation, you can still be hit by the Snatch Buster. And when Mercury hits you with it, you lose items. So it's actually not uncommon to lose your W tank there, which, remember that thing we got? We're actually going to use it on the next screen. And we need it to basically use Neptune's weapon meter twice.
Do you think you get the S capsule?
He's been getting ridiculous luck, so we'll see. Yeah. Proto-Man appears again with 8 seconds of RNG in his back pocket. If we get the S capsule, we see everything refill. If we get a 1-up, we just move forward. 8 seconds.
He has insane luck. Honestly, this run is very, very good. Except of that one
except
stage.
The stage
mistake.
select.
Yeah, if he didn't miss the stage select, it would have been such a great run.
Yeah, I'm sweating here. This is just a really good run anyway.
Yeah.
The Wily Fist here shakes the floor, which makes it hard to jump. This is where holding up on the D-pad for Neptune shots to arc high actually is a very relevant thing. If you're doing that, then that shot has a better chance of connecting. If you're not holding up, that happens. Either way,
missed the 2 cycle there, unfortunately.
Oh, don't worry, Mannix, you got this.
So you cannot 1 cycle this first phase of the fist. You can only get it down to 4 HP. In the test setting, you can get it down to 1, but you cannot kill it, unfortunately. So the best way is a 2 cycle.
Yeah, I mean, Mannix still did a good job there, because landing shots on that fist is really annoying.
Yeah, and tricky. So the upcoming fist is a slightly modified one. It moves a little bit faster, but it also enables you to 1 cycle it. So what he's trying to do, he's trying to get it to the left side of the screen and then just hit all of the Neptune. He didn't get it quite. Almost. If he didn't miss that 1 shot, he would have gotten it.
The trick is making sure those missiles don't bother you. If you're thinking, why doesn't Mannix stay all the way on the edge of the screen? The game is wise to that. And if the fist comes down all the way on the edge, it immediately retracts, and you can't get any hits in.
Yeah.
You might be able to sneak one in. But...
Yeah, unfortunately didn't get the one cycle here, but upcoming, a very, very interesting trick. And a very cool shortcut as well, if you want to explain, Cap.
So, what you're supposed to do in this fight is avoid these missiles, then you have to kill a snail head, and then it starts shooting bombs at you, and you shoot the bombs back in it, and that's the only way to do damage to it, except... Oh no.
No! Mannix!
Oh no!
Mannix!
He didn't refill Saturn, probably, during the section.
Yeah, I think
So
he missed the
You
refill.
get to see this bomb, and here's the thing. If you get the last hit with Saturn, we don't even see this cutscene. You just go straight to the next cutscene. We get to see Wily too. He might be doing this on purpose.
This never happened before.
So the weakness for Wily 2 is the Spark Chaser, just like basically every Mega Man Game Boy game used the 9th weapon on it.
Yeah.
He didn't go for the jump. He was probably in iframes. You can land on top of the capsule during it with the iframes, and you'll be standing in the air as the capsule flies away. The spikes there are actually not lethal. They just hurt a lot.
So we're finished, right? Or are we?
Well, I mean, Wily's still in his capsule, so we might have a capsule fight coming up here. So
Yeah,
we took care of the 9 planets. Yes, I know this game was made in '93. Work with me on Pluto. We took care of the moon. That's it, right?
Yeah, we got Wily, and what's left? Oh no, what's that?
Wily's saying it's Sun God.
Oh no.
If you got the US card, it'll say Sun Star. And
Oh, what's going on?
Wily still doesn't know how to make robots that won't attack him.
Yeah.
A lot of people like to point out that this is one of the few Mega Man games that does not have Dr. Wily or Sigma as the final boss. So Sunstar. There's 3 phases to this fight. Sunstar takes 1 point of damage from everything. If you're looking up a weapon table somewhere that says that electric shock does 2 points of damage, that's because 1 shot will hit him twice. So, with lack of a better option, we're going to use the fact that Pluto gives us the Buster and iframes, and that's going to be just fine. So every 6 points of damage for the first 2 phases, you move on to the next phase, and he burns up the floor just like that, and you do this next part. Phase 2 is very much just hit him twice, iframe through things. Hit him twice, iframe through things. This last phase is where things get a little dicey. When he jumps up, if you can't hit him fast enough, he uses basically the rain flush, and that will burn up the floor. And it hurts. And if you don't, and you keep hitting him, that's time.
Yeah, that's time.
What's that? That's 48 with a bad stage select. My goodness.
GG. That was a really sick run. Overall, very good gameplay in all of these 5 games. Very good time.
Yeah, this was excellent.
And he barely missed the world record, I think. I think he has he's like 10 seconds off world record. If he didn't...
I know.
Oh no. Like, he would have gotten world record on this run if he didn't select the wrong stage.
Yep, he's only the 10 seconds off.
Damn it. GG Mannix still. Very good run. Very awesome run.
I'm always a huge fan of these like marathon runs, no matter what your series is, where you play all the games, and maybe 1 or 2 of them aren't, the world record pace runs, but you're kind of proving, no, you know the series, you know the games, and you're just kind of going through it. You're dealing with all the struggles. This was a great run.
Yeah, honestly.
I don't know if Will's still here and wants to chime in. Mannix is still here.
No, I don't have anything to add to that. It's just, it was an awesome job.
So those were the Mega Man Game Boy games. I expect to see the leaderboard flooded with submissions tomorrow. That's how this works, right?
Yeah, right.
No? Okay. I'll just hand it off to Retro Gaming, I guess. And thanks for having us. Thanks, Mannix, for inviting us all here to say words. Thank you, Tremaine. It's been a while. How's it going?
Yeah, it's going good. Thank you for having me.